we'll be spending more time indoors. This will increase the risk of coronavirus spreading. The following reconstructions of everyday environments show why washing hands regularly, wearing a face covering, and keeping at least 2 meters apart is vital in controlling the spread. Coronavirus can live for more than 24 hours indoors. You could pick up or pass on the virus by touching a contaminated surface. Washing your hands with soap and water or using hand sanitizer regularly throughout the day will reduce the risk of catching or passing it on. Coronavirus can be found in tiny droplets coming out of your nose and mouth. Wearing a face covering over your nose and mouth reduces the spread of droplets carrying the virus. This means if you have it, you're less likely to pass it on to others. Larger droplets can land on other people or on surfaces they touch. Spreading the virus through droplets is most likely to happen when you are less than 2 meters apart. Smaller droplets, called aerosols, can stay in the air for some time, especially if there is no ventilation. So when you are with people not from your household, you must keep at least 2 meters apart. The risk of spreading the virus through smaller droplets is much less outdoors, where there is more ventilation. Wash your hands, cover your face, make space. These are the 3 most effective ways we can all control the spread of the virus. Remember, if you have any coronavirus symptoms, high temperature, a new continuous cough, or a loss or change in your sense of taste or smell, get a free test by calling 119 or visiting nhs.uk. Together, we will control the virus and stop the spread. Don't forget, hands, face, space.
Okay, welcome back to the Jobs Live channel. As you know, we're actually today helping you find work, and we're doing that through this Northwest Works for You event, and we're meeting different businesses from across the region who've got vacancies right now to help you back into employment, or maybe give you a career change or get you to return to work after a while away from the workplace. Delighted to be joined by Kate Story from Wigan Council. Hi, Kate.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, thanks so much for joining us here on the Jobs Live channel for this really special event. As you know, we've been on all day talking to people across the region. We've got fantastic vacancies to help people who are looking for work. Can I just ask you first, what does you do? What's your council's responsibility for the region?
Well, I work for Wigan Council, as you mentioned, and a lot of people have got the perception that councils look after our bins and look after our people, but there's so much more to us than that. We've got different departments representing all sorts of different professions, different levels. So we've got planning, we've got environment, we've got social care. So for those people that want to get themselves involved with other people, we've got customer services. So if you don't want that actual personal contact, there's the contact over the telephone. We've got PR, and we've got roles such as mine in HR as well.
So a whole range of, like you say, a whole range of different jobs there, which may be different to the perception, as you say, as to what people see and think of when they think of councils in general. You say you're based obviously in Wigan, but are you based all in one office, or are you spread around the town?
No, we represent the borough and are actually out and about throughout the whole entire borough, from Wigan through Leigh, through Tyldesley, Atherton. Literally, you could be based anywhere across the borough when you come and work for the council.
Great. And you already given us a range there of different positions, different areas you can work for the council. But what kind of jobs are you recruiting for right now?
Right now, we've got some adult support workers, so helping support those individuals that can't be independent or alone. We've got some hub key workers, so supporting our children that need some help within their arena. We've got roles within education, so lunchtime assistants, and we're gearing up for a future 50 apprenticeships over in our places directorate. So watch this space for those roles to be announced in the next couple of months.
Sounds brilliant, Kate. And obviously, you will have, I'm suspecting, a careers page or a jobs vacancy page on the Wigan Council website. Is that the best place to start if you're looking for these vacancies?
I would say go to greater.jobs, because that's where we advertise all our vacancies. So that's a collaboration of all local authorities across Greater Manchester, and it's where is our touch point. You can sign up for job alerts. If you can't find something that tickles your fancy today, you can still sign up for the areas that you are interested in, so that you're the first to hear about when those jobs go live.
So that's greater.jobs, and we will put up the link to that in the live jobs feed during the course of today. So thanks for sharing that, Kate. The people who then work for you at the council, you've obviously seen your fair share of CVs, applications, I guess, over the years. What sort of people do you think are most successful when they join you? What sort of attitude or what skill set do they tend to have that makes them successful when they come to work for you?
When you're working for the council, tenacity is a good thing. We have 3 behaviours that we really seek out in all our applicants, which is be positive, be accountable, and be courageous. So we want people that are coming on board to help and support our residents in whatever area they're working in the council.
And I know it sounds an obvious question, but why work for Wigan Council? What do you offer people who come to work for you?
It is a great organisation. Clearly, it's local authority, so there's all sorts of different pathways. The amount of people that start off in one particular area and then take a sidestep and go and work somewhere else, that have actually come up through our grassroots, through our apprenticeship schemes, and hit the top. So it is a bit of a political beast. I'm not going to hide away from that in certain areas, but it is a great company, an organisation to actually support your communities and do the right thing by our communities and work for the best of the best, really. We were Council of the Year in 2019. We've got great rewards. We've got a great work-life balance. You can probably see that I'm working from home right now. Yes, some of that has been COVID-induced, but we're looking at ways to help people be flexible as well in their approach to work going forward, so we can capitalise on some of the good things that have actually come out of COVID.
Brilliant. And obviously, you say there things have changed and people are working from home, but that will probably continue in some shape or form. So great if you're embracing that as a council. Finally, I just wanted to ask you, for people who are applying maybe on the back of this, or have seen something about any role today, you as a HR manager, again, you've seen a lot of people who've been successful, but you've been also quite frustrated, I guess, when you see a potential candidate who's not quite hit the mark with what their application needs to say or do. What hints and tips can you give people applying for any role today to make their application stand out?
I would say make sure that you are yourself, that you're true to yourself on your application. Make sure that your skills stand out, and that's not necessarily your actual qualifications, but what skills have you got? You might have been a stay-at-home mum, but actually your multitasking will have shot through the roof whilst you've been at home. Make sure that you link through some of your real-life examples to what you're actually doing and how that can take you through to being a great employee. And when you get there and get that interview, relax and be yourself. We don't want to see a potted version of you. We want the real you and bring you the whole you to that particular application process.
Great advice, Kate, and thanks so much for that, and also for your support of the Northwest Works for You event, which is taking place this week, and hopefully we'll get some vacancies filled for you on the back of this event as well. Thanks so much for your time, Kate, today. Look forward to
thank you.
No, look, my pleasure. And thank you for joining us here on the Jobs Live channel. We'll speak to you again, I'm sure, in the future. Thanks, Kate.
Good luck with your applications, everyone.
The Jobs Live channel is an innovative, interactive, moderated online channel that brings job opportunities directly into the home, classroom, or business. The Jobs Live channel is free to the end user and does not require any additional equipment to be purchased or licenses to be downloaded. Since 2016, the Jobs Live channel and the Learn Live channel have supported the futures of people across the UK by delivering over 2,000 live broadcasts and reaching over 10 million people in schools, colleges, and the wider community. The Jobs Live channel can be attended by an unlimited number of individuals simply by logging into the channel and joining the live broadcast. The broadcasts can be customised to showcase an organisation's vacancies and profile, provide live video feeds and live jobs, and have a running commentary from our studios to review the latest job opportunities available across the UK. The Jobs Live channel is a partnership with businesses and the DWP and works continuously to link job seekers to employers and educate them about the types of companies available within the economy. The channel is already working successfully with companies like Balfour Beatty, Network Rail, the NHS, alongside hundreds of businesses supported by the local economic partnerships. Individuals and employees are encouraged to ask questions during the broadcasts via the channel's moderated live chat facility directly to the Jobs Live channel partners. The Jobs Live channel can offer you the following: a channel which gives employers and partners the opportunities to promote and discuss their current vacancies to a captive audience of job seekers. Dedicated channel pages for your business to host video content both live and on demand. An innovative, moderated live chat facility on your channel page to provide real-time interaction between customers and businesses. Fully searchable live jobs applet for customers to locate the latest vacancies and watch videos from employers discussing the roles available. Finally, using our trusted methods and our extensive knowledge of this market, our project plans ensure all resources and step-by-step processes are met in line with timescales and budgets. We look forward to working with your business in the future on the Jobs Live channel. Thank you for watching.
I'm delighted to be joined today by Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Stuart. You okay?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Jobs Live channel for this Northwest Works for You event. Just tell us, before we get into what Kier does, what's your role there within Kier Construction?
Yeah, so I work on the highways sector of the business, and I'm an assistant HR business partner, so I look after all our highways contracts that we've got currently in the northwest of the Kier business, basically.
And we were saying earlier to Charlie and to Daniel from Talk and from McCann Health that I think your sector, like theirs, has seen a real boom, hasn't it? I mean, lots of projects being awarded, and which means you must be incredibly busy at the moment.
Yeah, if anything, we've got busier during COVID times as well. You know, a lot more demand from clients and things, and a lot of infrastructure going up, and new contracts, awards. It's quite an exciting time, especially in the northwest where I'm based. It's a lot of exciting projects coming up, that's for certain.
And for those who may not have heard of Kier, just tell us briefly what you do as an organisation.
Yeah, so Kia is a construction company. We're up and down the UK, so we're not just in the Northwest, we're all over. We have 4 core business units, which is in highways, infrastructure, construction and utilities. So yeah, we've got thousands of employees. We're one of the leaders in the market in construction. You know, we try and collaborate together as one big company, even though we fall under 4 different sectors. So I'm primarily from the highways part of the business, and Lara, who you've seen before, my colleague, was from the build side. So from the highways point of view, you know, we maintain motorways, so places like the M6 Getty Junction, we'll do all the maintenance and repairs on there, the potholes. We also work with a lot of local authority contracts up and down the business, you know, fixing and maintaining, building new bypasses. And in terms of the build side, you know, we'll build a lot of places like your office space, your schools, universities, prisons. There's all sorts going on. We built the Mersey Gateway as well in Merseyside. So really big infrastructure, exciting projects. And we have a big contract with utilities as well, where we work alongside Virgin Media and help with all aspects of it as well.
Certainly sounds like there's a lot going on there. And the perception of construction, as you'll know from people who look out inside to you and look at your organisation and think, I don't want to work on a building site. It's much more than that, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And that's one of the messages that we try and put out there quite a lot. For me, working highways, people just assume, oh, it's just, you know, road workers, people filling potholes, this, that and the other. But there's so much more to it. This, you know, we've got roles like graphic designers and the communication side, the marketing side, IT, everything like that, really. Human resources, there's so much more. The design element around it all as well, the project management. It's not just a case of being a builder on site or roadworks.
Yeah, and I think that's getting through to people watching this broadcast today, because Ben, who's just put up, and I think one of your colleagues, Kane, who's on the chat today, I was wondering if any of your jobs relate to advertising, marketing, or even sales. So even with an organisation like yours in construction, you need those people, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, our marketing and comms space at the moment is, you know, the stakeholder side of it all, dealing with the public, going out there, liaising with the public and making sure, you know, we're doing our job the best and not disturbing people. And to the point of internal comms, you know, we've got to have all that set up in place for not just our internal employees, but everyone else out there external as well. It's a very, very big department we've got in Kia.
Sounds great. And I think a lot of these opportunities exist on your careers page. So if you haven't already, go to the Kia careers page and you'll see lots of what Laura's been mentioning there. Can I just talk about the different people that apply to you then? I mean, obviously, you have a certain type of individual that you're attracted to, that wants to work for you, or you want to work with them. You know, can you give us an insight as to kind of people you're looking for to join Kia?
Yeah, so our values are basically collaborative, forward thinking and trusted. So if you feel that you can match them values, then you're the person for us, basically. I mean, we try, you know, our best to attract a diverse range of different people from different backgrounds, whether that's, you know, people just starting off on career journeys such as early careers, you know, work experience, apprentices, graduates, all the way through to, you know, to senior employers. We do a lot of work, you know, trying to get people in from different backgrounds and to transfer them skills into the business. For example, we're working a lot with ex-military at the moment, because there's so many transferable skills out there that they can bring into our business, whether you're from construction, retail, gas, anywhere. There's so many transferable skills into the construction industry. We want to really pass that message out there. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, come to us. We are an inclusive employer.
And the kind of, you know, the benefits of working for Kia then, just touch on them if you may. You know, why would someone want to work for Kia in the first place?
I mean, overall, I mean, this is from my personal experience. They're a really supportive employer. You know, we have many things in place from, you know, we have line manager training. We know managers are a big part of someone's employment. So we have a lot of manager training to make sure they can actually look after the employee, not look after, but you know what I mean, ensure they're supported. We have many benefits in place to attract people to the business, but it goes a lot deeper than that in terms of, I suppose, upskilling people. you might think, oh, we've come into a job and that's it. For those who are really willing, we will put time, money and effort into you to upskill you to the best you can. For example, myself, I started off as a HR administrator. I've been here nearly 7 years now, and they've put me through my level 3 HR qualification, level 5, and I've just recently passed my master's. So I came from not a lot of GCSEs coming into this environment, and they're really, really willing to upskill you and put the money and effort into you if you're willing to give that back. So it's a really good employer.
Thank you, Laura. And it's great to see that support is in place. And that's one of the reasons why companies are getting involved with this pledge and this event, because it is more than just, like you say, taking people on. It's supporting them, it's mentoring them and making sure they're as successful as they can be. You also take on apprentices, like a lot of construction companies. Coming in as an apprentice is another great way of joining your industry, isn't it?
It really is. And again, just to pick up on the mentoring comment that you came with, we have dedicated early careers teams within the business. So it's not just the case of getting an apprentice in or a graduate or work experience. We actually have staff there employed to actually take them through that career journey, and it won't just stop once they become a permanent employee. We really are dedicated to looking after the apprentices and supporting them through the journey and making sure that they get everything they can do out of it.
Yeah, and over the past 12 months, I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes, a lot of people working from home like yourself. It's been, and you've had to adapt to that. So for some people joining you, that will still be the case, that they'll still need to work remotely for now.
For now, we've been operating as business as usual in the construction industry. If anything, like I say, we've got busy, so we do still have quite a lot of sites, COVID secure, safe sites up and running. So we like to see it as that person's preference quite a lot of the time. If people do have to work from home, do you want to work from home that first day, or would you prefer to come into the office for a couple of days a week perhaps and work it that way? We give it as the person's preference going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, as today's been about support as well and getting people, so they can apply and be successful. You've obviously seen your fair share, Laura, I'm guessing, of CVs and applications and people going through that process. What's the key ingredients to get somebody to be successful and get to interview stage?
Yeah, I think with me, overall, doing a bit of research on the company and, applying for the job, do a bit of research. If you're not too sure what that job is, have a, further look and kind of just be open and honest. If there's not something you've experienced but you're willing to learn more about, then just let us know. Researching the company, I think any company will definitely help you. It shows that you're interested and you've done your research on the type of company you're working for, what they've done in the past. And I think, when it gets to interview stage at all, we do quite like seeing, when you share your examples of, how you've worked well in a team, what you've done, how you've done to mentor others or help people better themselves. Them sort of responses really do shine out, especially in a company like Kia, where we're very people orientated.
And for you personally, can I just ask, what's the best thing about working for Kia? What do you enjoy the most?
Ooh, definitely the people. I'd probably say, I'm not sure if that's going to be a common answer, but the people that make it and having good management in the business. We've had a lot of changes in Kia recently, and we've got a really good CEO that works for the business, very people orientated. We've just got everyone's amazing. The people are amazing. It's the people that make the business at the end of the day. And yeah, I think it's it, the people.
And just on a final note from you, what do you hope this will achieve for you as an organisation and for people who are looking for work? What do you hope will come out of this event?
Well, hopefully, a lot of people applying for our roles. I specifically look after a project in Blackpool and Liverpool at the moment. And, trying to get people to apply from a local area and, people around the Northwest has been proven a bit difficult in certain areas like Blackpool. So just to have that bit more encouragement for people to apply for the roles and, don't be too scared whether you think you can or you can't do it. Apply, ask the questions. It might be a case of you've got a lot of transferable skills. We just need to break it down a bit more. So just don't be afraid of applying and get to the website.
Absolutely. And I think that's what the channel is all about today as well. It's a chance to have a one-to-one chat with, Laura and the team there at Kia. This is a golden opportunity, really, whilst they're online, to get in touch. And if you join this late, don't worry, there's still plenty of chances to do just that. Go to the Kia partner page and ask a question, or you can ask it through the main event, which I know a lot of them have already been doing this morning. There's been quite a few questions, Laura, you'll be pleased to know, while we've been chatting to you here for the last 5 minutes or so. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us today for the Northwest Works for You event, Laura. Hopefully, for your point of view, you've convinced people that it's not just about hard hats and muddy boots. There's a lot more that goes on in the construction industry. So thank you for sharing that with us. And we're going to shortly meet up with Amanda from Stockport Homes, keeping that building and construction link going this morning. But before we do that, we have a short interview. We met up with Sue from IMAP to tell us more about what IMAP do in the region. Thanks, Laura. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the event.
So, thank you, Stuart. Today I've been joined by Lauren Fairclough, who is from the National Careers Service. So, let's start today's interview. So, Lauren, can you tell us, what does your company do?
Hi, so I'm from the National Careers Service. So we're supporting the event this week to provide you with expert careers information, advice and guidance, just to help you make sense of all the different options and career paths that are on offer from the different employers who are here this week.
So where are you based?
So we operate all over the Northwest. So we've got advisors in Liverpool, in Manchester, in Cheshire and Warrington, in Cumbria, so all over.
So what roles are you recruiting for?
So we're not recruiting for roles for this event. So what we're here to do is provide you with the information, advice and guidance that you need to make applications for these roles. So our service it's free to everybody aged over 13, and you can get in touch directly with an advisor. You can call us on 0800 100 900, or you can visit nationalcareers.service.gov.uk, and we've got a web chat function on our website. And the helpline and the web chat are open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday. And if you're aged 18 or over, you can book a free telephone appointment with an advisor at a time that suits you. So how that works is it's an hour-long appointment. So the advisor, you'll get booked in with a local advisor. So they'll have lots of knowledge on like the local labour market, all the different training and courses that are available in your area. And they'll talk to you about your background, your experience, any qualifications that you might have, just to get a really good understanding of what your career goals are. And then they'll work with you to create a personalised action plan. And this will outline the steps that you need to take to achieve your goals and the different sources of support that are available to help you do that. And our advisors have lots of experience working with people of all different kind of backgrounds and barriers to work, and the service is completely confidential, so anything that you say to your advisor will be kept in confidence. And just to say that lots of our customers over the past year especially have expressed how they felt quite demoralised and demotivated, and our advisors are really skilled at giving people that confidence boost that they need to get back into work. So a lot of the time it's just about recognising the skills that you do have, because if you've been out of work for a while, it can feel like your skills aren't valuable, but it's just helping you to realise that they are.
So what kind of people are you looking for to join the organisation?
So we can help absolutely anybody, whether you're in work or out of work. There's no kind of eligibility criteria. You don't need to be claiming benefits to access the service. Anybody can call up and make an appointment. As long as you're over 18, you can get a telephone appointment. And also the service is impartial, so we aren't paid to push you towards any particular course or organisation. We'll always advise you on what's best for you in your personal circumstances.
So why work for you?
Like I said before, we're not recruiting, but we are an excellent service to access if you need support around your career. So we can help you get your CV in shape if you've not looked at it for a while. We can provide advice on application forms. We can help you with job searching techniques, so looking at things like using social media and networking to expand your search beyond the usual places. We can also help you get ready for interviews, because I know that can be really nerve-wracking, and talk through things like video and telephone interviews, which are becoming increasingly common at the moment. We can also help you find training and learning and explore the different funding options that are available to you. Or I think there's probably a lot of people on the event this week who are considering a career change, and that's something that we deal with quite a lot. So if you're in that position, we can help you figure out what sort of roles you might be best suited to and how to go about making that change.
So finally, any hints or tips for those applying for any role this week?
So what I would say is that we just want you to have the best chance of securing the role that's right for you at the end of this week, and we can help you prepare and get you set up for success.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Lauren. It's been lovely to speak to you today. So back to you, Stuart, in the studio.
So welcome to this Jobs Live tutorial for people who are joining us next week for the Northwest Works for You Jobs Fair. So the first thing you need to do is go to the main site, which is jobsliveuk.com, and then you'll need to log in to either create an account or to log in to your account. So if you want to get the most out of the site, it will be good if you logged in initially or actually registered to use the site. This enables you to meet other organizations and to also private chat with them about your application, or if you want to find out more about them. So first off, you need to log in. So if you've not registered, the simple register as subscriber there enables you to do that, and it takes you through a number of steps that you just need to do to register to the channel, and you can just fill in your details there, and then you will get an email to confirm that you are then logged in or subscribed to the channel. So I just go back, because obviously I've created an account already, so I'm going to log into that account. Just need to click the captcha, and you can also click remember me. Then you can log in. And this takes you then to the main channel page, the Watch Now page, where we continually stream interviews with organizations who've got job vacancies at the moment. Now you can leave a chat message in there, which is our main channel page, but also next week you'll be able to go straight to the event page itself. So if you scroll down from the channel page, the Watch Now page, you will see there you can go straight to the event. And you can catch up with the stream on there as well. So from Tuesday next week, starting from 11 o'clock, you'll be able to see live employers who've got vacancies within the region. And if you scroll down from there, you'll see the running order of the companies who are going to be involved in the broadcast next week. So we're running it from Tuesday to Thursday, 8th of April. And you'll see there we've already had questions from people who left questions in advance for the employers. So if you want to do that right now, you can leave a question on the main event page, or if you know the companies that you're interested in, you can go to their partner page. So I'm just going to choose Medax. So you can go to their partner page. You can watch a short tutorial, if there is one there, about using the site, and also then you can read up about Medax and what they do. You can also register to their page, so you could get any further updates on any vacancies that they may have on there. So if you register to them, they will be in touch and give you more information. And also you can follow them on Twitter. There's also links to their website as well as the Twitter handle there as well. Now the live chat here is set to private, which means nobody else's messages, as you can see, are displayed here. So there may have been a number of people contacting Medax, but you won't see their messages, and it will be a one-to-one conversation between you and that company. So if I was to type in there, it comes up as my username. Obviously I'm using test for the purposes of this demonstration, but your screen name will appear there along with your question. Now I just stress nobody else sees that. Only the company will see that question. So it's not shared with any other users. So feel free to use this chat and they will respond to you as well in private. So even though you'll see their response on your screen, it doesn't appear on anybody else's screen other than yours. So basically it's a one-to-one conversation between you and the employer. So that's it for this short demonstration. Obviously feel free to go looking at other partners. As I say, you can do that by visiting the actual site page itself for the event and search through the companies who are going to be on the 3-day event. You can go through there now and leave them questions. Or if you want to search for partners that work with the Jobs Live channel, you can also search for them on this partner search facility here, where you can search by company, by sector, or by region and category. And obviously you'll see there, you can search, most people would search by company, find the company they want to speak to, and go straight to their page. So if I just search for that, you'll see there, I can then view the profile and again, as before, go and leave a question for that organization. And just finally, if you wanted to speak to a company here and for everybody to see your question, if you wanted to get in touch with them, it's a little bit like Twitter. You can simply do the @ symbol and then the list of the companies involved in this particular event will appear on here. And then you can just choose their name and then type in a message to them. Then you can choose your screen name and you can also put in your email address if you want them to give you a direct response to your question. So you can still contact them through the main event page by doing the @ symbol and then they'll get in touch with you that way. Or if you want a private conversation with them, you can do that on their partner page itself. Thank you very much. Enjoy the event and look forward to your questions on the live chat. Thank you.
So good morning and welcome back to Jobs Live. This is Friday the 16th of April. I'm delighted now to be joined by Lydia Goodman from the NHS Somerset Foundation Trust. Hi Lydia.
Hi there.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the Jobs Live channel. Can you just tell me a little bit about your role there? What do you get involved with on a daily basis, please?
Yeah, so in the recruitment team for the Foundation Trust, we deal with hard to fill vacancies and, well, vacancies across the board, really. It ranges from healthcare vacancies, medical professionals, to administration staff, operations. We, make sure that everything is advertised correctly, everything's, in the right pay scales, and that we're getting the right candidates through, that we're engaging with people in the best way that we possibly can.
Perfect. And the NHS Somerset Foundation Trust, I'm going to take a guess here that you're based in Somerset, but other than that, who's involved with that trust? Which other companies and whereabouts are you based in Somerset?
The Somerset Foundation Trust as a whole we're not really based anywhere. We are based across the whole of Somerset. So that includes your main hospitals like Musgrove Park Hospital and YDH, which is in Yeovil. We've got GP surgeries. We've got community staff teams, which obviously cover large areas at a time, and we've also got offices around and about the place for various administration staff. So we're based everywhere, all over Somerset, really.
and you recruit for the whole piece, don't you? So it's not just the hospitals, it's GP surgeries, support groups, etc. It's everybody who's involved with the NHS, really, within your county.
Yeah, that's right. So in the recruitment team, there's we've got quite a large team, and it's split by really sections of our healthcare service. So we call them directorates, which can be community care or surgical care or GP practices in specific, and we recruit by sections.
Yeah, and we've got your website up here now. We're just going to have a quick look at your careers page. So this is what is on your website at the moment. So if people went to somersetft.nhs.uk and searched out your jobs board, this is what they will see. So I'm just bringing this up on screen now, and you'll notice there's a whole range of different opportunities. I think, am I right in saying there's about 350 roles in the NHS alone, and some of them are on this jobs board, isn't there?
I'd say more than that, if I'm honest. But yeah, so there's a whole different variety. I touched on earlier. The NHS is such a large entity, and in order to run an operation like that, you need everything from the very top to the very bottom, if you see what I mean, from medical professionals to administration staff to everything in between. So it's a large range of things of opportunities that are within the NHS.
Sadly, we haven't got time to go through all your vacancies today, but is there any certain ones that you'd like to highlight, Lydia, that maybe you are searching for? Maybe just want to explain a bit more about what's involved, because I know people often associate you with nursing and doctors, but there's a whole raft of other opportunities, isn't it? Maybe you want to pick up on a couple?
Yeah, of course. So obviously, in the NHS, the roles that we are always looking to recruit for, and that we're always, looking for different ways to support our staff and things like that, and our nurses and our healthcare assistants. They are definitely make up most of the backbone of what we do. So we are always looking for people either coming through universities or looking to get into a career that really makes a difference to people's lives in that capacity. But on the other side of things, we're an ever-changing entity, I would say. So with the coronavirus coming about, we're all in a pandemic. So obviously our way of staffing the service has had to change, and we've had to introduce a mass vaccination program, and we have been heavily recruiting over several months now for vaccinators, nurses, administrators, various roles to keep that service going. And actually, interestingly, the vaccination staff on this project haven't necessarily had any experience in that before. There's an intense training program, or an intensive training program that we enlist people in to become trained vaccinators. So it could be people you could have been an accountant for 20 years and now you're a vaccinator for the NHS. It's a really interesting time to be part of our healthcare service, and we're really proud that we've been able to either further people's career or give them a change, all to aid us all in getting back to life as we once knew it. Absolutely.
You mentioned healthcare assistants. That's a good entry level, isn't it, for someone who maybe want to start their career in the NHS? Just tell us a little bit about what a healthcare assistant would get involved in on a sort of daily basis.
Absolutely. So on a daily basis, a healthcare assistant is mainly supporting the nursing team on whatever ward or community service you're part of. So healthcare assistants, as I've just touched on, can be based on a ward, or they can be based out in the community. And your job is to provide assistance on the ward, sort of general housekeeping duties and odd jobs, but also to provide care for residents that sit just below what a nurse would be qualified in administering. So that's anything from personal care to emotional support to kind of sitting with them with their family and helping explain what's going on and things like that. Healthcare assistants are in my eyes the unsung heroes of our whole National Health Service. Really, they support the nurses in everything that they do and make sure that our patient care is up to standard, and that when the nurses have finished with their medical advice and medical treatments, that you are emotionally supported and well taken care of so that you're comfortable.
Yeah. So we've kept your website up there. Again, I'm just going to remind people of the address at somersetft.nhs.uk. And then it's if you search on then the job board, it will bring you up with these vacancies. And could give me an idea roughly, I won't quote you, but how many vacancies do you currently have for people to apply into there in Somerset?
God, I really couldn't say because it fluctuates so much. Obviously, with the pandemic that we're in, we're operating at higher staff numbers than we normally would be.
Yeah.
And there's more temporary vacancies available on fixed term contracts, like I've said, for the mass vaccination project.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really does fluctuate. But if you look on the website, like I said, there's lots. There's about 300 different variations of roles that you can apply for.
Absolutely. We're just going to click on nursing and midwifery just to show people that there is vacancies behind there. And you've got, so you say, COVID related type vacancies, decontamination technician, junior sisters. I'm just going down. There seems to be a lot on here at the moment for people to choose from.
Yeah, absolutely, and they vary from as you touched on, the entry level roles where you don't actually necessarily need any experience. It's more about your nature. Are you caring? Are you compassionate? Right the way up to your doctors and your GPs where you study for several years. But we work very closely with schools and universities in the area to make sure that we're still engaging people. To make sure that they want to come and work for our healthcare service. Nurses and doctors and medical professionals is something that we're always going to need, always. So, as long as we've got people still wanting to work in that capacity, if they go to university, they do their nursing degree, we keep in touch with you all the way throughout your nursing degree, and support you in your first steps in your career as soon as you leave there. So it's a different variation of levels where you can enter the health service, but it's accessible to everyone.
I've just noticed, Lydia, actually, you can create what looks like an account on this. It's got My Job account. Can people do that and then get alerts about vacancies?
Yes, yeah, you can do that on our NHS Jobs website. What you can input what type of role it is you're looking for and create alerts to get that. Or if you don't quite know, you can just you can have the account. You can sort of pre-populate your information, type in the generic application, and then if every time you see a job that you're interested in, tailor your application to that position and apply.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll just put it up on screen. It's called Track Jobs, TRAC, yes. And people can actually create an account there. So perfect. Oh, that's really useful. Just before we let you go, I was going to talk about the kind of people that you're looking to recruit to the NHS. And we get this question a lot here on the channel, and it does vary depending on which sector you're going into. I mean, for these roles, and particularly nursing and healthcare assistants, the kind of people you're looking for, Lydia, I mean, what, not necessarily the qualifications, but what sort of the soft skills and those kind of skills should they have, do you think, to work for you?
You kind of hit the nail on the head there when you said soft skills, because with the healthcare service in general, yes, you need to, in order to be a nurse or a doctor, you need to have certain qualifications and go through certain exams and pass them. However, our core value is recruiting people that are caring and compassionate and want to make a difference in people's lives, because we really can't underestimate what an impact you have in whatever role you have in the NHS. You are keeping the country safe. You're keeping people in care, and sort of really aiding people in their time of need, no matter what level you come in at. So the things that we look for in the staff that we take on are those core values. What you kind of the reasons behind why you want to work in the NHS, rather than the qualifications, because they can come later.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just on people's, when they're applying to you, what makes those applications stand out? You've clearly seen quite a number over the period you've worked there. People, and you must get quite frustrated sometimes when people maybe leave information out or haven't customized their application. I mean, what's success look like to you when someone's applying that you just want to meet them and you want to interview them?
So my main bugbear when people are applying is that on the track system you can fill out your whole application and submit that to every role. But what you have to bear in mind is that you're not submitting it to a computer, you're submitting it to a person, and they will read that application. And I can tell within 5 seconds of reading somebody's personal statement whether they've written it for this role or whether they've written it in general. And what we want are people who really do want to work in these roles and who are passionate about working in these roles. And if it doesn't come across in the personal statement, if it's just, you've written this for seven other roles, then you are less likely to be shortlisted based on that. Yeah. So that is my main advice to anybody applying, is make sure you tailor your application.
Yeah, and that goes across the country as well, isn't it? In any NHS Foundation Trust, those rules will still apply. All recruiters want to see a more personalised expression from that potential employee, that they've taken the time to apply and do their research on you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Do your research as well. There's sort of, and it kind of goes hand in hand with personalising the application to the role. Yeah. If you've researched the role and the specific details of because it on a vacancy, it has the ward that you would be working on, or the service that you would be working within, and what that role entails. So do a little bit of research, make sure it's personalised, and make sure your personality is in your personal statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And just on the process then going forward, if they do get an interview, I suspect this is all done online at the moment, although you may be seeing people face to face. But for those people you have interviewed online, any advice for those? Because it is a new way for some people anyway to be interviewed. Again, are you seeing basic mistakes being made there from people?
It is difficult, because interviews from home, you kind of you forget yourself and you don't get the same sort of, I don't know, anticipation almost as you would with a face-to-face interview. So I have seen people who have kind of, I would say, been a bit slack, with the online interview. They don't necessarily dress for an interview, or make sure they have the correct lighting, or make sure there's no disturbances in the room. And it's easy to forget when you're at home, because you're not in a work environment, and you kind of it's easy to let stuff like that slide. But I would say treat an online interview as if you were going to the place and meeting that person. Yeah. In person. Yeah.
And check your connection works in advance. It's just like checking the map before you venture out to find someone's office. The same applies here, isn't it? Do check your Teams or your Zoom account works properly, and you can hear people, you can see people. One of the recruiters said the other day, just test with family and friends. Just do a call with them with the same the same platform that the recruiter's using. Yeah,
absolutely. Just make sure, like basic preparation, make sure your connectivity is good. And because there have been a couple of people that I've interviewed online that have been late, and I think and it is due to not testing connectivity and things like that. But when you're at home behind a laptop, I think it is ever more important to be on time.
No, I know, and there's no excuse really, is there? You can't blame traffic.
Exactly, yeah. You can't. There's no traffic at home.
No, that's a good shout. Okay. Fantastic. Well, look, that's been really helpful today, Lydia, and thank you for sharing some of the vacancies that you have there within the trust in Somerset, and also some of your experiences of people applying for work. I mean, that's invaluable advice coming from yourself as an employer. So thank you for that. And I'm sure it will assist people in the application process. And I will encourage people to keep visiting your vacancy page, because it does seem like it's changing probably on a weekly basis as new vacancies come in different areas.
It's so volatile at the moment. It's the healthcare service is changing day by day. So definitely set up a track account, set up your alerts, and just see what comes through.
Perfect. Okay. Well, again, thanks very much for your time here on the Jobs Live channel. It'll be great to have you back again to talk more about what you do there at the Trust and to find out more about those vacancies. And maybe next time we can focus on a different area that you're trying to recruit in, because there's so many different areas that people are yet to discover, I'm sure, about the NHS. So thank you, Lydia.
Thanks, Stuart. I've been joined by Maria Boyd from Lake District Hotels. So, Maria, what does your company do?
We're a group of 6 award-winning hotels in the Lake District. We're privately owned and run by the Grace family. We have 5 luxury 4-star hotels, a Coach Inn, which has 13 rooms but hosts a nightclub, sports bar and a pizzeria. We're renowned for our well-trained and attentive staff. Our exclusive hotels offer an excellent selection of award-winning locally sourced foods, wines and local beers, all with modern, well-appointed rooms and facilities. 2 of our hotels are revered wedding venues, and we have an award-winning luxury spa, an amazing Pan-Asian restaurant at our Lador Falls Hotel and Spa.
Brilliant. So where are you based?
Our luxury hotels are in the most beautiful surroundings of the Lake District, with 3 of our hotels being in Keswick, which is a market town in Cumbria. We have the Skiddaw Hotel there, the Inn on the Square, the King's Arms. Then we have on Lake Ullswater, we have the beautiful Inn on the Lake, and we have the Lador Falls Hotel and Spa, which is on Derwentwater Lake. All of our hotels are just 20 minutes from Penrith with direct links to the M6.
So, what roles are you recruiting for?
Oh, we're really excited to be opening our hotel soon. And we're all looking forward to welcoming all our lovely guests back to the Lake District. With a boom of staycations, we believe that our busiest summer is coming. So to prepare for this, we're expanding our teams and are looking to fill a variety of roles, from housekeeping attendants, food and beverage team members, hotel and spa receptionists, bartenders, mixologists, night porters, beauty therapists and chefs. We are part of the Kickstart scheme, and on top of this, we'll be offering up to 30 placements throughout our group over the next 6 months. And we're also offering apprenticeships in a variety of areas.
So, what kind of people are you looking for to join the organisation?
Well, we can teach people to do any role. The one thing we can't teach is that you have to like people and enjoy making people feel welcome and valued. To succeed in hospitality, you need to be enthusiastic. You have to have great interpersonal skills. You have to be flexible. We don't work 9 to 5, and you will be expected to work weekends. You have to be organised and show commitment to working in our wonderful teams, and motivated to give the best customer service and product knowledge to our lovely guests. It's all about our people and how we work together to get things done. So it's all about you. When you come for a job at Lake District Hotels, it's about the personalities and the people.
So, why work for you?
Lots of reasons. We're great for training and development. We have accredited compliance training, which is hospitality specific. So you get health and safety level 2, food safety level 2, licensing, allergens, COSH. We do wine specialist training, coffee specialist training, mixologists, and beard and nail specialist training. We also very much promote from within. So we like to train people up into the positions that we need. We also have a great hotel academy with apprenticeship trainings up to level 4, although we've just signed someone up recently and they'll be going on to do the level 6. We have live-in positions in all of our hotels. We give out staff tips regularly, and every single penny is shared out to our staff. We have a great pension scheme. We have discounted accommodation and dining rates within our group. We have days out discounts, which includes 2-for-1 cinema tickets and entry into wildlife parks. And we have a great rewards and recognition programme.
So, any hints or tips for those applying?
I would say, tell me about you and why you'd make a great addition to our team. I can teach you to make a coffee, carry a tray, be a whiz with cocktails. I can't teach personality, and that's what hospitality is all about. We're all different, and that's what makes it so interesting in our industry. If you don't have any previous experience, think about the transferable skill sets that you do have. You know, things like accuracy, attention to detail. I'm used to working in fast-paced environments. And if you have any gaps in your employment, just explain why. And always start with your most relevant post, or the most recent post, I should say. It just makes it a little bit easier to read CVs.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Maria. Back to you, Stuart, in the studio.
Okay, so welcome back to Jobs Live channel. Hope you're finding lots of opportunity here today on the channel to find work. We're now being joined by Mary from Heighton Travel. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what's Heighton Travel do.
Okay, so Heighton Travel's a bus company. It's a supported bus company. We work for Mersey Travel. So basically they pay us to provide a bus service. So we will run and operate bus route around Liverpool and Liverpool city centre, and they pay us for it at the end of the month. And basically that's what we're looking for here, is some more bus drivers to come aboard and drive around the Liverpool city region.
Perfect. So it's a Liverpool city region where the job will be, where you will be working as part of your team. And just tell us a little bit about the actual role itself. What's involved in that? And I'm sure it's more than just driving.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so your day will begin when you come to the yard here. We're based in Heighton, Wilson Road on the industrial estate. That's where you'll come into the team, collect what vehicle you're going to be using. You'll go and do what's called a walk around check to just basically make sure your bus is fine and okay to go out and drive on the roads and you're happy with it. You'll then take yourself off on your route, which you will have been 3 lanes, and you'll know what you're doing. And you're off on a selected route, picking up passengers and issuing tickets and taking money. You'll do that until it's your break time, where someone will come and relieve you in a car. You'll go and have your break, and then you'll come back to the yard at the end of your duty. And it's basically what you want to do. So we're 24-hour operational. So our first route goes out at 4 in the morning, and our last route comes in at 1 in the evening. So it's very flexible. If you wanted to work part-time, we have part-time vacancies. And if you want to work full-time, there's also full-time opportunities. And as I say, it's a shift pattern, so you can do earlies, middles or lates. And we try and cater to what the person wants who's coming in, basically, what our employer needs.
Great. And have you got vacancies live right now?
Yes, we have, yeah.
Okay, so where would people go for those vacancies?
They'd come here to Heighton Travel. If they were to give us a call, we'd set up an interview. They'd come in and sit down with one of our supervisors downstairs, fill out all the paperwork. We'd go through an induction process if they were interested, and teach them how to use the ticket machine, a little bit of customer service, because obviously they're dealing with the public all day, and give them a little bit of a road test, making sure that they're okay driving. Obviously they all need to have a bus licence for this position. But yeah, there's plenty of jobs there.
Okay, and so you say they can give you a call. What number do they call?
They call us on 0151 449 3868, and it's 24 hours operation, so they can call anytime.
Okay, brilliant. And what kind of people would you say you're looking for to join your organisation, or based on the type of culture and the team that you've got there? What kind of people are you looking for to apply into this role?
We're just looking for someone who wants to drive all day, wants to be on a bus, doesn't mind interacting with the public, and has got good customer skills. We've got CCTV on the vehicles, but once somebody's out there and driving around, they're basically their own boss all day. So we just want to make sure that they're going to be nice to the public and they can handle driving the vehicle. Really, that's it.
Yeah, and what sort of training? I mean, you say, can you give people training, or are you looking at people who've got previous experience, apart from a
We're
license,
looking
of
at
course?
people. Yeah, we are looking for people that have got the license, but if they've not driven for a while and they do need some training, we've also got our own training company, a sister company, Abacus UK Training, and we can bring them in and give them a little bit of refresher training and make sure that they're comfortable on a vehicle on their own and that we're comfortable putting them out on a vehicle.
Okay. What job satisfaction would you feel you get out of working for Heighton Travel, Mary? What do people say to you, your team say to you about the job they do?
Basically, they sort of feel like they are their own boss because they come in, they pick up their vehicles, it's usually around the same vehicle they get every day. So they're used to being on there, they know how everything works. They go out, they do their own thing, they've got no one, pointing down their neck telling them what to do. And they come back and they've met a lot of people through the day and they're happy with that.
Great. And finally, for those who are applying to you, or maybe who call you after this or get in touch, what hints and tips can you give anyone who's trying to find work with you to make sure that they're successful in their application?
Just basically come in and be polite and customer focused. As I say, we don't see them all day. We'll see them in the morning and we're there for them if they need us. But for 8 hours to 10 hours a day, they're out there driving on the road with customers. So as long as they're happy to go out and do that and they're the right type of person, then that's it really. Just be polite and professional.
Are you still able to do face-to-face interviews, or are you doing a lot of them now like this, remotely?
No, they can always come in and see us. It's all COVID safe here. We've got all sanitising products, all the vehicles as well. We've got a specials appetizer every night. They're brought in, cleaned thoroughly and put back out again. So yeah, if they wanted to come in, that'd be fine.
Perfect. And just a reminder again of where you actually base. Where's HQ for you?
We are in Wilson Road in Heighton on the industrial estate. Really good location right by the village.
Perfect. That's fantastic. Well, glad those vacancies are live and people can apply right now. So if you are interested in working for Heighton Travel, do get in touch, put more details on the website, and Mary and her team will look after you if you give them a call. Thanks so much, Mary, for your time today on the Jobs Live channel. Look forward to meeting you again, and fingers crossed you get a few applications following this interview.
Oh, thanks a lot. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Stuart. So I have been joined by Philip Hall from McCann Health. So Philip, could you tell us a little bit about what McCann Health does?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So what do McCann Health do? So we're a medical communications agency. So we work with pharmaceutical businesses as well as some other organisations to help them communicate various messages around their products and their devices. So essentially, a good way to summarise what we do is if you're a GP or doctor, nurse, healthcare professional, how are you kept up to date with the latest goings on within pharmaceuticals? Well, that's where we come in. We bridge the gap between what's happening within the pharma industry, what's happening on the front line in healthcare, and make sure that everything's aligned for everybody. And we do that through lots of different ways. We might do medical publications. We might be involved in various types of meetings and events, congresses and symposium. We may do some digital projects as well, such as websites, apps, social media campaigns, and much, much more. That's just some top line stuff. But again, that's what we do. We bridge the gap between pharma and healthcare professionals, making sure that education of what's happening in pharma is passed smoothly across to the healthcare professional.
Perfect, that sounds brilliant. So whereabouts are you guys based?
So we've got offices all over. We're based in the UK, and we're also based in North America. So in the UK, we have offices in London, Oxford, Manchester, Macclesfield. We also have some people in Glasgow, up in Scotland. And then if we're looking at North America, we have people based in New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Toronto, which is actually where I'm based as well. We do allow for flexibility, so we do have a lot of people that work from home. And even prior to the pandemic, we had a lot of people that worked remotely for us as well. So we have the infrastructure to allow flexibility in working from home. And we are hoping to return to some of those office locations that I just mentioned a little bit later this year.
Brilliant, I hope you guys do as well. So could you tell us a little bit more about the roles that you're recruiting for at the moment?
Yeah, we have a wide variety of roles available at McCann Health Medcoms. So we traditionally look for people to support us on client services or account management. So we have various positions for people to come in and start their career within a client services role or an account management role. We do also have science writers as well. That's a very big function of this business. So people that take all of the data and take all of that interesting information that's coming out of pharma and repackaging it, rewriting it, repurposing it for something not entirely different, but something a little bit different. And so those are probably the two main career pathways that we have within the business. But we do also have opportunities within our studio, so where we employ people with digital capabilities or graphic design capabilities, and lots of other things around that. And we also have a very strong finance team, so we can offer opportunities within accounting, really, in many ways. We also have a strong HR and recruitment team, an IT team. And then we also have other bits and pieces, other functions within shared service as well, around office management, reception work, general administrative duties as well, and roles, I guess. So a real variety of positions available within the business.
Perfect, that sounds brilliant. A bit of something for everyone. So what kind of people are you looking for to join your organisation and even to fill some of those roles?
Yeah, we are really receptive to people from all sorts of backgrounds and all sorts of experience, or bringing all sorts of different experience. I think fundamentally what we look for are people that have very good communication skills, people that have a great eye for detail, people that are team players, that are hardworking. It's a fast-paced industry, it's a fast-paced environment, so we do like people that can match that and mirror that. We do look for people with those core skill sets ideally. So experience we can be a bit more flexible on, but we do need to see, I guess, some of those core credentials for anybody looking to join the business.
Perfect, sounds brilliant. So why would some of those people that have those core values want to come and work for you guys?
I think that's a really good question. We know that it's a competitive place out there. We know that there's a lot of opportunities for people. I'm very biased. I'm the recruitment manager here, so I think that we're one of the best companies to work for. I've seen my career grow and develop within this business, and I think that's one of the things that I'm really proud about. You know, I've recruited people into this business that have come straight from school, academia, perhaps not, perhaps they've come from a different sector or a different industry, and you've really seen these people develop and grow their careers and receive all the great things that come with that as well. Fantastic career opportunities. So I do genuinely believe that we offer careers, not jobs. And if somebody is good enough, then they can progress through the business and they can receive promotions and receive all sorts of different opportunities. So that's one part of it. But the other part of it, and this maybe is a little bit cheesy, it is about the people and about the people that you work with. I know everybody says that, but I genuinely believe it. I used to work as a recruitment agent I worked at 2 different recruitment agencies, and you got to see how some businesses worked. And then an opportunity came up to work at McCann Health, and I just grabbed it straight away because I'd worked with them as a recruiter. I'd seen how they interacted with me and with other candidates and how they treated their staff. So it was a no-brainer for me. I wanted to join this business as soon as the opportunity came up. And that was, again, largely down to the conduct of the business, how we treat people, and just that element of camaraderie and teamwork that we have in the business.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So for any of those people that might want to come and work for you guys, have you got any hints or tips for those for when they're applying?
Yeah, I think a good hustle is always good to see. And again, that's a little bit cheesy, isn't it? But do, put together, get in touch with us on LinkedIn, do get active with us on social media. When you do apply, do make reference to Northwest Works for You and the work that we're doing with Learn Live and all of the other institutions we're involved within in the Northwest. Do put together a strong CV. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but a really good, well-written, well documented CV would be great. A strong cover letter really goes a long way. Don't be afraid to send an email directly to somebody like me or one of my colleagues in the recruitment team. There's 4 of us in the recruitment team. Also, just getting in touch with the HR team more broadly. We have a central HR email address. So I guess tips are just a really good application and just communicating very strongly from the offset, where you've seen the job, why you're applying, what excites you, what interests you about our business. And that will instantly set your application up somewhere up here compared to other applications that we're receiving. So yeah, all of those typical things I would think would be advised to do if looking at a job with us.
Perfect, that sounds brilliant. Well, thank you so much for those hints and tips, and thank you again for your time today and from joining us all the way from Toronto. Hopefully the time difference isn't too bad.
No, it's all good. I've had my morning coffee. We're good.
Perfect. Well, again, just thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you very soon on the Jobs Live and the Learn Live channel. But for now, it's back to Stuart in the studio. Thanks, Stuart. I have been joined today by Michael from Merge. So, hi, Michael. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and also the company Merge?
Of course I can. So, my name is Michael Brennan. I'm Head of Business Development for a recruitment company called Merge. Who are Merge? Well, we focus our efforts on building meaningful, long-standing partnerships with a number of clients and a number of candidates throughout the UK. Our specialisms mainly cover business areas such as financial services, insurance, but we do get involved in other sectors as well. The skills we recruit for those businesses sit across finance, risk, fraud, legal, customer contacts, actuarial, among a few other areas as well.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So whereabouts are you guys based?
So we're based in a village in North Manchester called Whitefield. It's a fantastic, easy access location away from the intense sort of commuter traffic of the city centre. We've got a great sort of local community made up of local businesses, independent sort of shops, etc. So, we've got a purpose-built office just opposite from the Metrolink station in Whitefield. Away from the northwest, we also have offices in central London and up in Glasgow as well. So we've got a sort of a national reach, but our head office is in Whitefield, Manchester.
Lovely, as you said, definitely a wide reach there across the country. So what particular roles are you recruiting for at the moment?
Yeah, we've recently had a management meeting where we are sort of speaking about increasing our UK headcount by 30% this year off the back of a strong finish last year and a start to this year. We're recruiting for resources who will come in and very much focus on generating sort of candidates for our experienced recruiters to work with. Ultimately, that resource will sort of really work hard getting to know candidates that we're going to be placing into their perfect next career step. But our consultants or senior consultants that we're also recruiting for will do exactly the same work with the candidates, but they will also engage with some of our current customers and some of our new customers about selling recruitment services and solutions to them, and ultimately matchmaking the fantastic candidates that our resources come up with and place them with our long-standing customers. So we're recruiting for resources, consultants, and senior consultants across all of our UK locations.
Perfect. That sounds brilliant. So within those roles, what kind of people are you looking for to join your organisation, but also to fill them as well?
Yes, Emerge, it will be a bit of a cliche, but we're really not like other recruitment agencies. We look for, I suppose, focused on skills. So, we drive teamwork, collaboration, supporting other colleagues to achieve their goals. Because we find when each individual within business thrives, then if the business thrives as well as the individuals. So we're looking for hard-working, like-minded people that really want to drive themselves to be better, but also support their colleagues along the way. And obviously, away from that, sort of, we sort of provide sort of candidates and clients with a professional service. So we want people that are honest, have strong levels of integrity, and can sort of deliver on the value that we attribute to being a really professional organisation. So that's a little bit about what sort of the type of people that we're looking to join Merge.
Perfect. That sounds brilliant. So why would a applicant want to work with you guys?
That's a good question. Well, we genuinely really value every employee within the business. We give them support, training, encouragement, the technical resource, really everything they need to achieve their sort of daily, weekly, quarterly goal. We love recognising and rewarding hard work with sort of an attractive salary and attractive bonus scheme. We don't, like other recruiters, really push KPIs. It's a much more relaxed working environment where we look to create a stimulating working atmosphere that's good. And obviously we've got great benefits. We have team socials, summer and Christmas parties. Sometimes it's like daddy daycare in the office with the office dogs coming in. We've got arcade machines, a bar, a pool table, and so much more. Our offices are fantastic. There's lots of reasons to come and want to work for Merge.
Perfect. That sounds brilliant. So do you guys have any hints or tips for those who might want to apply for such a great company?
Yeah, given what I've said, be yourself. We're not corporate. I think you very rarely wear a suit. I'm doing this interview in a tracksuit top. The only time you'll see one of your colleagues at Merge wearing a suit is if we're going out to visit a client, which probably hasn't been happening very recently. We don't clock watch. Some people get in for 8:30, some get in for 9:30. We just want you to come in and be yourself. So given how relaxed our working environment is, we really want to see you demonstrate your ambitions, your personality, and talk to us about where you want to take your career so we can understand how we can potentially support that. We've built a very diverse, inclusive family culture at Merge. We really want to understand who you are as an individual and what motivates you to ensure that you'd be the right person to join our business.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much for those hints and tips there. But unfortunately, that's the end of this interview. However, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you guys on the Jobs Live channel. But for now, it's back to Stu in the studio.
Hi Portia, coming in.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks, but I'm still looking for the right apprenticeship. Wow, Jack, this place is amazing. How did you end up working here?
Just grab a coffee and I'll tell you all about it.
Great. So how did you get your apprenticeship here then?
So have you heard of the website, Find an Apprenticeship?
No.
So that was the starting point for me. I literally just Googled finding apprenticeships on my phone and it was as easy as that.
Sounds easy enough, but how do you search for apprenticeships though?
So you start by creating an account, you'll get a verification email, then on the website you can apply some filters where you can pinpoint the job that you like. It's like a job advert, so you can see the salary and what the employer expects of you while you're doing your apprenticeship.
So how do you apply for the jobs though?
So you can apply from the job page through an online application form, and that will be saved for any job vacancy so you don't have to keep making a new one. But sometimes though, you may have to apply via the employer's recruitment page, so you'd have to keep an eye out for that.
Right, okay. So is that how you got your apprenticeship here?
Exactly. So after I applied, I had to do a telephone interview, an assessment day, and then a face-to-face interview, but it was all worth it. It all started on the Find an Apprenticeship website, where you could actually set up alerts. So I got a text when I got an apprenticeship that matched what I wanted. It's like having a recruitment agent 24/7 working for you, but the difference is they send you apprenticeship vacancies that you actually want to get out of bed for.
That's amazing that you got a text message from being matched with the site with a vacancy. I wish I'd known about this earlier, like when I was in school.
I almost ignored this job because I didn't think the job title was exciting, but after looking at the profile, it was just what I wanted to do. So I applied, and look at me now.
And look at you now.
So I had a lot of help to get my job. If you go on the Find an Apprenticeship website, you can find the contacts for their support team and the National Careers Service. They really know their stuff. They got me thinking about how to apply for my job. They even have apprenticeship vacancies in higher and degree level. You've got this, Portia.
Thanks, Jack. I'll get you a coffee at my new apprenticeship workplace next time.
Finding your apprenticeship couldn't be easier in 5 simple steps. Step 1. Search Find an Apprenticeship on gov.uk. Step 2. Create an account and set up your alerts. Step 3. Search for vacancies in your area. Step 4. Complete the online application form. Step 5. Manage your applications online. So what's stopping you? Search the Find an Apprenticeship website to find your apprenticeship today.
We're going to meet up with Natasha from Creative Support. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Stuart.
Thanks so much for joining us live here on the Jobs Live channel to talk about a little bit more about what your organisation does. But before we do that, what's your role there, Natasha, at Creative Support? What do you do?
So I'm the recruitment manager for Creative Support, and I've been with the company, for over 12 years now. And I think that says a lot about the company. We're a not-for-profit, and we're based in Stockport. We work in over 65 local authorities. And my role really today is just to talk about the company. Obviously, with COVID and with the furlough scheme, we have a lot of people who may have worked in hospitality or retail or different sectors, who may not have been in paid employment before. And I recognise how scary that is when you're going to a new role, especially if it's health and social care. So I just want to talk a bit about how easy it is to get into health and social care, what you need in terms of experience and qualifications, and just to ease people into getting back into work and to applying to ourselves, hopefully.
So what kind of roles are we talking about there? It seems to be quite a variety, and for some people maybe sometimes they don't know what those roles truly are. So do you also help them understand what those roles mean in beyond the title?
Absolutely, Stuart. So we have our support worker roles. So that's generally supporting adults with, it might be somebody with a learning disability who lives in their own home. It might be somebody with mental health needs who needs support to go out to the bank or to go shopping. It might be an older person who lives in their own home and might need some support with dressing in the morning or with preparing a meal. We support adults all over England, and it really depends on the person. So, people are different, people's needs are different. So our goal is to give somebody the support that they need based on who they are and what they require. And yet you're absolutely right, our roles vary. So we have support worker roles, but we also have roles based on head office or regional offices. So we're looking for an IT technician at the minute, looking for someone to join our learning and development team. So it really does vary depending on your background and what you're looking for.
Yeah, and I know your team have been on the live chat. What struck you about the kind of questions and the individuals out there? Because you may not necessarily get that access to them in the way you've got this over the last few days.
No, I think that's been really helpful. And what's really struck me is that people are so keen to just know whether it's something that they can apply for, if it's something that they'd want to do. It can be quite overwhelming for people. So what I'd say really in terms of the questions that we've had is, you don't need any care experience, you need any qualifications to come and work in health and social care, to come and work for creative support. What we do look for is we're looking for the right values and ethos of it. So we want somebody who's caring, who's compassionate, and who wants to help. And I think what we've learned from the pandemic is that people really want to give back. You know, we were clapping for key workers, we're clapping for the NHS, and we're all working really, really hard together to support everybody in England. And I think people want to be a key worker. You know, during health and social care, during creative support, we've been supporting our staff to have a vaccine. Most of our staff are on their dose of a vaccine. It's a great role to come into if you want to make a difference, you want to do something different, and you get to go home every day, you know, and you get to tell your family you love them, you've helped someone, and it's a fun job and it's a safe job. Every day is genuinely different. No 2 days are the same at Creative Support, and you get to do things that you might want to do. So you might be supporting somebody who, you know, wants to go for long walks in the countryside. For you, that's great. That's a great match. You might be supporting somebody to apply for jobs or go shopping on their own for their first time. It's a huge remit in terms of things that you can do and the change somebody make.
I just want to pick up on what you just said there, Natasha, is because of the pandemic, have you seen a notable increase in the number of people who do want to help people? And has that brought people forward that may not have considered this industry in the first place, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, Stuart. So we have lots of applications. We have applications from 17, 18-year-olds who are at college, who are doing a health and social care course, who, you know, want to roll, want to work, and want to make a difference in their community. We have people who've worked, you know, at Debenhams or at Topshop for 20 years and want to do something different now that those companies have gone under. It really does vary, and we do take people with a wide variety of backgrounds. We're a Investors in People silver employer, so that's really important to us in terms of what we put into to our staff. We're not for profit, so that's hugely important to what we give to our service users. We're a Stonewall Diversity Champion as well, so that means we encourage people from different backgrounds, from LGBTQ community, LGBT plus Q community, as well as BAME groups.
Brilliant. And can I just ask about, I mean, we ask this from all the employees who come in, is that those hints and tips, you know, to get people seen by you, because I'm sure you've seen your fair share as recruiting manager of CVs. What makes a good CV for you? Let's start with that. What would you say to people now to make sure their CV stands out?
For me, I'd want someone who's just honest about why they want to work for Creative Support or whichever organisation you're applying for. Just be genuine. You know, if you haven't been in work for a long time, say, you know, I've been a stay-at-home mum for 20 years, I want to come back into work, make a difference. But try and have a look at your skill set yourself. You know, most recruitment managers will know when we're looking at a CV or an application form what your transferable skills are. But I want you to tell me, why you think you'd be good at this job. Why would I want to hire you? Because that's something that I can't see. So yeah, be honest. Talk about your recruitment history. Tell me about your 5-year work history, what you've been doing, where you've been, or what it is that interests you and who you are as a person. That's what I want to see when we get to interview stages as well. I want to know who that person is genuinely. I'm not interested in buzzwords. I'm not interested in, you know, a presentation. I want to know who that person is, because at the end of the day, we're supporting vulnerable adults, and I want to make sure that's the right match, that it's a right match for the person applying for the role. It's a right match for the company as well.
No, that's great advice. Thank you for that, Natasha. And can I just remind people of your website? So if they've got to go to that now, and I know you're going to put this up in the live chat as well, but what is the website for people to go to?
It's www.creativesupport.co.uk. You can always call our head office as well, 0161 236 0829, or you can pop me an email. It's natasha.palmer@creativesupport.co.uk.
So that's been Natasha Palmer here on the Jobs Live channel from Creative Support, a fantastic organisation doing some great work with vulnerable people, and there's stacks, isn't there, of care jobs available if they go onto that website, Natasha, right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And get in touch if you've got any queries.
Perfect. Well, that's what it's all about today. It's about getting in touch with these employers, including Creative Support. So feel free to use the live chat and even go to the Creative Support partner page and the guys are there now ready to have a private conversation with you. Thanks so much for your time, Natasha, here on the Jobs Live channel. Thanks for giving up your time to talk to us about your organisation, and stay in touch.
That's great. Thanks, Stuart.
Take care. Next up, we're going to meet up with Engie, and we've got Nikki Sorton with us in the studio. Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the Jobs Live channel. So you work for Engie, but before we find out what they do, just tell us a little bit about what your role is there at Engie, please.
My job is social value officer. So basically, if we're working in an area, we will work with the community, schools, colleges, and we'll do STEM activities, we'll do work placements, we'll apprenticeships. We do loads of different bits and pieces, but it's more dealing with the actual community and the schools and colleges and trying to leave a bit of a legacy behind once we've worked in an area.
Perfect. And I know your colleagues are on the chat. They were on the chat yesterday as well, and you were supporting people. So thank you so much for doing that. So I just want to say thank you to the wider team there at Engie who've been giving advice and guidance to people today. So Engie, you're in the construction sector, but just tell us a little bit about what Engie does. What's your company all about?
Engie is a global company. It's a leading energy and service provider. They focus mainly on three areas, which is energy, services and regeneration. Energy obviously speaks for itself. The services, we work in partnerships with local authorities to maintain and service their buildings. And then there's the regeneration side, which is sort of split into three areas, which is new build, education and public buildings, where we can do extensions or new build onto the schools and things. And then we've got refurbishment, which basically deals with housing association properties, where we can do rewires, central heating, windows, doors, kitchens, bathrooms, etc.
Fantastic. And whereabouts are Engie based? You said they're global, but do you have bases in the UK, especially the Northwest?
Yes, we do. The Northwest base is Salford Quays, but then obviously we've got different offices in like Wattle Pond, Durn and different areas because we're over the UK and Ireland and everything. So yeah.
Fantastic. So give us a flavour, if you can, of the types of roles that you have currently on offer, please, Nikki. And I know the construction isn't necessarily, is it, just working on building sites? That's that common misconception. And I'm sure there's other roles, like in the back office roles, that you need as well.
Yeah. There's lots of different roles that are available. We're offering 3 full-time roles. It will be a mixture of office and site-based roles. It's not been fully confirmed yet, so once it will be shared with the DWP and the Jobs Live. But because we do cover such a varied roles, it can be anything from cleaners to site managers to bid people, estimating. There's loads of different areas that it can cover.
Fantastic. And for you as an organisation, you have all these vacancies on your careers page, so if people wanted to go and search out them, they can go there straight away and apply into them, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic. Just give us an idea of the kind of people you're looking for within your industry. I mean, you've clearly seen a number of people join. Is there something that you're looking for in that individual that makes them successful?
I think somebody that is passionate, somebody who's willing to learn, hardworking. Obviously, Engie will sort of help with the progression of their career and everything, but we know that not everybody will have skills and qualifications for the jobs that are available, but as long as they're willing to put that effort in and to actually want to do that job and prove that they can do the job, yeah, that would work for us.
Yeah, I think it's really an important point, isn't it, that you've got people have got transferable skills to come and
Yeah.
work for you. So what we're looking for here is to get people to think that they don't necessarily need to have construction sector experience really to join you.
Yeah, no, they don't. I mean, I started as admin, and I've worked my way. Then I went into the liaison, which is basically if we're working on a site and we need to let the owners of those properties know what's being done, but we also need to work with the site team. So we were that bit in between. I then went into the site management side of it. And now I'm doing like the more the community social value side of it. So basically, whatever you know as part of your life, you can transfer into jobs that are available.
Brilliant. And the kind of the benefits of working for Engie as well. Can we just cover them off as well? Because what is the the benefits of working for Engie? Why would someone want to work for you in the first place, do you think?
Personally, I think Engie's a good company to work for because they are so big and so diverse. There's lots of different areas and lots of different jobs that are available. Plus, we do focus on the training of other people and the progression of their careers. They don't just look at what we can do for them. They also look at the health and well-being of our employees. They also they listen to what people have to say. They update the processes. They're always committed to us as people rather than just as a number. It's a good company to work for.
And that's fantastic to hear. I mean, and that support is there to get people through that. Like you say, they need mentoring or they need support with their mental health, as you said, and also to help them with their careers. I know Engie is really passionate about that, aren't you, as an organisation, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things like that available. There's always extra training that you can do. If there's any external courses that people want to do that may benefit that job or benefit them in the future as well as benefiting Engie, they will do that. So they won't stop you from learning.
Fantastic. Well, I'm just going to encourage people to get in touch with you on the live chat. We've got Engie people on the chat right now, so please get in touch. And I know, Nikki, you'll jump on there later and help anybody who's got any questions. And if you're not sure about what roles are available, just say to Nikki, and I'm sure she'll help you understand more about what opportunities exist within Engie. Final one for me really on this point, Nikki, is about those hints and tips. And we ask all our organisations who join us on the Jobs Live channel, what can you provide so that they are successful in their application? And you've probably seen your fair share, haven't you, of applications over the time. So what makes one for you stand out and that will help somebody else be successful as well?
Something that stands out to me is for them to be enthusiastic, to have knowledge about what they're applying for. Try and do a bit of research beforehand so that you can put certain keywords in that will make sure that it catches our eye as we're reading through the CVs and things. Look out for opportunities for employability sessions so that you know that what you're putting in on your CV is exactly what we're looking for, and it improves your chances of gaining an interview.
And of course, in the current climate we're in, I'm sure there's been more interviews done online, and that's been difficult for some people, hasn't it, to make that transition from a physical meeting in a meeting room, with a panel, to suddenly maybe doing it on Zoom or Teams. Again, is there any advice you can give there about how people should treat that interview when they're doing it online?
Yeah, treat it as though it's a face-to-face interview. Make sure that you dress smartly. Obviously, you don't have to wear suit and tie, but make sure you dress smartly. Don't eat or drink while you're having the interview. And again, make sure that even if you've got like notes next to you, so you don't forget what you're saying, or just treat it as you would a normal interview, because obviously some of these ones now you can have like the group interviews as well, so that makes it that bit harder as well. So you just got to try and sell yourself, but be honest and make sure that you look smart and you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and maybe practice with a friend or family member before you do the interview.
I would say so, yeah, especially to make sure that they've got all the information that they would want to get across, and that they also try and think of questions that you need to ask the employer that you want to get out of it, so that you're fully aware of what's happening as well.
Perfect. Well, that's some fantastic advice there, Nikki. Thanks for sharing that. And thank you again for your support as well on the live chat. So if you do want to get in touch with NG, there's a number of ways you can do that. You can use the chat on the event page that you're on right now, or you can go to the NG partner page and have a one-to-one conversation with Nikki and her team there at NG. Nikki, thanks so much for joining us on the Jobs Live channel today. And thank you for sharing what will make someone successful. And let's hope we can get a few more people applying into your roles in the future. Thanks so much, Nikki.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Take care. So welcome back to the Jobs Live channel. It's Thursday the 15th of April. I'm glad you could join us. Jobs Live channel is all about trying to link you up with your future employers, and we've had plenty already on this week from all across the region and across the UK telling us about the vacancies they have. I'm really been looking forward to this interview all day. This is the next one we're going to speak to. The next company we're going to talk to is a company called Voltex, who you may not have heard of before. So we've invited Nicole on from Voltex to tell us a little bit more about what they do. So hi Nicole, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good, really good, thank you. Thanks for joining us on the Jobs Live channel. And I'm going to get this right. Is it Voltex UK? Or maybe I should have said earlier.
Yeah, it's Voltex UK.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're right.
It didn't sound right as I was saying it. So Voltex UK, you're based in the Northwest. Just tell us a little bit more about where you're based and really what you do, because it's a very unique sort of company, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's probably worth me giving a bit of an overview of Voltex and who we are, just so people have an idea of what we do, because I appreciate not a lot of people have heard of us before. So we are a cash processing business, and we like to think of ourselves as a utility, similar to water, gas and electricity. So we're a cash management business. We're owned by Barclays and HSBC, so we're a joint venture between the two banks. And it's our job to make sure that cash is widely available for use across the UK. So that could be removing, old, damaged, forged notes and coins from circulation. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's typically what we will do on a day-to-day basis. So we have 12 sites across the UK, and we have one support office which is based in Warrington in Birchwood. And don't quote me on this, but I would say about £130 billion worth of cash comes through our cash centres each year. So at some point you have probably touched one of our coins or notes that's been through one of the centres. And that's up from Scotland to down in London. That's where we have centres.
Great. So you've got these centres around the UK, but today we're going to be focusing on your operation in sort of the Warrington, Cheshire area, where you say you have your service centre. And I think that's where some of these vacancies that we're going to discuss are currently live. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so we have 6 live roles in our IT team at the moment.
Great.
If you want me to talk through those?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to just, before we just show those vacancies, just tell me what your role is there, Nicole, at Voltex UK. What's your day-to-day job? What does it look like?
Yeah, so I work in the recruitment team. It's myself and my colleague Rachel. So we manage all of the vacancies across the business. There's about 1,800 people that work for Voltex, so there's quite a lot of us, and we manage all the vacancies across all of the sites, mainly in the Warrington area because that's where we're based. So we support a lot with the roles in IT, HR, finance, communications, risk. And it's our job to book people in for interviews, interview, and make sure they're the right fit for our business, and that they pass our vetting checks, and that they want to pursue a business career with us.
Fantastic. I was reading on your website actually, just as a bit of research, which is always a good thing to do, especially if you're applying for a job, isn't it? Was that if you actually took all the coins that you look after and put them sort of side to side, it would stretch all the way to Australia. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's actually quite, when you put it in that those kind of terms, it is a lot of cash. So if we placed all of the coins and notes that we handle each year, it'd stretch from London to Adelaide in Australia. So we have a lot of money coming in and out. And we also, we've got one on there about stretching to the moon as well.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that too. So plenty of facts and figures on your website, which is a bit of a hint for anybody who wants to apply to you, especially when it gets to interview stage, to drop those facts in. It means you've actually looked at the website.
Definitely.
So just about my personal curiosity, if I went to my local ATM and nothing came out, would that be because you guys hadn't provided cash, or do you not really get involved with that side of the business?
Yeah, we probably wouldn't get involved in that side as much. It's more just to make sure that the cash and coins can be used in circulation. So anything that that's counterfeit or forged or anything, it's our job to just make sure that they're removed.
More of a quality assurance then for what people get coming to them cash-wise. Perfect. Okay, for you personally, what makes a good CV? You look at it and you go, I absolutely want to see this person take it to the next level.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of CVs over the last few years, and people generally that work in recruitment make quite a quick decision on who they like and who they don't like. So I would say, make your application stand out, tailor it to the position as well, make it a little bit more personal too. Don't put loads and loads of information on the CV, because you're going to get a recruiter that looks at that and just thinks, wow, that's a lot of information there, and it might put them off. So obviously the small things such as spelling mistakes, make sure that someone checks over your application before you send it over, because those little things really do make a massive difference. And like I mentioned before, quality over quantity. You don't need to put every single thing that you've done. Keep it quite concise and easy to read as well, I would say.
Okay. That's
the main things.
Oh, perfect. Well, thanks for that. It's always good to hear from a recruiter directly as to what you're looking for, Nicole. So thank you for sharing that. It just may make the difference when someone applies into you. Are you noticing a lot more people applying for roles because of the situation, and maybe from sectors that you've not had applications from before?
Yeah, definitely. We've noticed a big increase in the number of people applying. Unfortunately, obviously, people are going through changes due to COVID. So there has been a spike in applications, and from a range of different industries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just finally, if someone does get to interview, the interview will be done online, a lot of time. So just give some feedback on this, because are the rules the same? Turn up on time, dress accordingly, but this time maybe check your background. I'm sure you've done a few now, and you probably look at it and go, I wish they'd check the background.
Yes, check the background, make sure that the technology's all working before you join, do a bit of a test run. But all of our interviews are online at the moment. We have had a couple of technical issues with people in the past, so I would just make sure that everything runs smoothly beforehand before you log in.
And do you use Zoom or Teams? Which platform do you tend to prefer?
Teams we use.
Teams, okay. So people can check that works first, go onto that website, check it works. And it's always a good idea to do that before applying. Otherwise, you're in a really stressful situation where you can't connect to Nicole and she's waiting for you at the other end and it looks like you're not showing up. But all good. Well, look, it's been great to have you on the Jobs Live channel. Thank you for your time today, Nicole. And I hope for people watching this, it has helped them understand more about what your organisation does. And I still can't get my head around that fact that we can get to Australia with Adelaide, Australia, with all the the cash you've got there stored. That is an amazing. Well, just trying to get my head around that. That's a lot, and
a lot of money.
Yeah, and an exciting industry to join. And just for anyone maybe watching nationally, I know we're not touched on that, but just would it be worth them getting in touch because of your other centres around the UK as well?
Of course, yeah. Feel free to reach out to us, and we'll see if we've got anything available. Definitely.
Perfect. Okay. Again, thank you so much for joining us on the Jobs Live channel. We're going to meet up next with a very different industry. I'm going to meet up with Robin from Network Rail, who's going to tell us more about their roles and their apprenticeship programme, which goes live later on this year. Thanks, Nicole. Speak to you soon. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
So today I have been joined by Pauline, who works at Jessame Staffing. So hi Pauline, could you tell us a little bit about what Jessame do?
Yes, Jessame Staffing Solutions, we are a staffing agency, also known as a search, recruiting, or a staffing service. So by registering with ourselves, we have the potential to make connections with multiple hiring organizations, healthcare, in our instance, and who are looking for the right healthcare assistants, support workers. So we find those opportunities for them and we place our candidates with them. And Jessame Platinum Home Care, our second part of the business, places healthcare professionals in individual people's homes.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So whereabouts are you guys based?
Our headquarters and home is a beautiful town, Bolton. It's a large town in Greater Manchester, northwest of England. Historically, it's a part of the county Lancashire. So we do service starting from home. However, we also cover Yorkshire, Cheshire, and Merseyside.
Perfect, that's lovely. So what kind of roles are you guys recruiting at the moment?
Registered nurses, senior healthcare assistants and senior support workers, but we also have a training academy, so we are also looking for entry-level new people to the care industry but are willing to be trained, and so that we can place them as well.
Perfect, that's amazing. So what kind of people are you looking for to fill those roles and also to join your organisation?
We value kindness, love, and care. Those are our values. So most importantly, we want people to come to us because they have those qualities. They have excellent communication skills, including speaking and listening. And they also have empathy to be able to feel the pain and suffering of our clients, whichever establishments they go to. We also want them to be able to be compassionate so that they can provide comfort. And they also have to be mindful of the confidentiality requirements and the different cultures and are willing to train and develop within our organization.
Perfect, that sounds amazing. So why would someone want to come and work for you guys?
We are a family-run and owned business, so by joining us, we become an extended part of our family. So our clients are our extended family members. So our staff, they are our most valuable asset. And working with us is also a simple way to streamline job search. Many people don't realize that using a recruiter actually makes the job search a lot more streamlined. And you gain a lot of access and insight into what employers are looking for. As much as we are a temporary staffing agency, we place permanent roles as well. And we have all the resources to train our staff all the way from the beginning up to when they have an interview with the employer. And we keep supporting them while they're in employment.
Perfect, that's amazing. So do you have any hints or tips for those that might be applying today?
Yes, my favorite one is they should blow their own trumpet on how kind, loving, and caring they are, and treat their interview with us as a regular job interview, because we are observing and already trying to find where we can best place them. Be honest at all times. Experience is not always what makes somebody successful, but the open-minded to try different type of work that we have got if they're entry level. And also we will have a lot of training and resources in place for them to use, so they should be wanting to be trained and developed.
Perfect. That's amazing. That's a brilliant piece of advice there. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for your time as well today. And hopefully we'll be able to see you again very soon on the Jobs Live channel. But unfortunately for now, I must pass over to Stuart back in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And next up, a little bit different. This is the REF, and I'm delighted to be joined by Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, everyone.
Great to have you live here on the Jobs Live channel today for this Northwest Works for You event. Rachel, you're no stranger to our channels. I know you're really passionate about this is on meeting people digitally and what it can achieve. Have you enjoyed the last day or so?
Oh, absolutely. It's great to meet different people and actually help people, because a lot of people aren't aware about what the REF can actually do. And yes, you are moving away from the Northwest area, but providing you're happy to do that, there are lots and lots of opportunities out there for you.
Yeah. I know your colleagues are on the live chat as we speak, so I'm sure if you've got any questions for Rachel and the team, use the live chat or go to their partner page and have a direct conversation with them. So Rachel, just tell us a little bit about your role there. I see you've got your RAF banner, or Royal Air Force banner there so you're all branded up, but what's your sort of day-to-day role there at the RAF?
Well, I'm actually a weapons systems operator, which means that I fly around on helicopters. And up until coming into the recruitment world, I was flying around on the Sea Kings. But I've also flown on the Chinook helicopter, and I've also done flight operations roles as well. So I've had quite a diverse kind of life within the RAF itself.
I'm going to say, where did it all start for you? I mean, did you always wanted to do this, or were you going in a different direction?
To be fair, I actually got a sixth form scholarship from the Royal Air Force at age 16. So I got £2,000 while studying at college. And I'm going to embarrass myself, something rotten now, but the reason I got interested in the RAF is I watched Top Gun. And I just thought, oh, cool, blimey, I want to be like Tom Cruise, flying around the skies. And I know that he was a naval aviator, as they call it, but I always wanted the Royal Air Force, because for me, it's all about flying and being in the RAF.
And I mean, you make a good point there, actually, because I think it's a perception thing that, and we see it a lot on the chat, that you're all about pilots. You know, people think it's the only job available, but you're on here today to correct that, aren't you, and tell people there's so much more that you can apply into the RAF.
Absolutely. Actually, only 8% of our personnel, if you will, are aircrew. So we have around 50% of technical and engineering roles. We've got an awful lot of medical personnel. We've got force protection, logistics. So if you wanted to be an air-to-ground steward, if you wanted to be a chef, if you wanted to load aircraft, if you wanted to be into warehousing, I know we've had quite a few people on the chat that are looking into all of these roles. And the RAF is a prime example of going out there and actually getting the job done. It just means that you're not going to be doing it in the Northwest. You could be doing it anywhere all over the world, depending on where the operational tours are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you're a massive supporter of apprenticeships as well, and getting young people and other people, I mean, it doesn't have to be a certain age, to join you as an apprentice. I mean, give us a rough idea of how many people you take on at that level every year.
Okay, every year we take around 2,500 personnel in. And it could be that you are age 16, where you apply at age 15 and 9 months. It could be that you're mid-30s, 40s, wanting a second career. We're finding an awful lot of people that are coming into the RAF as a second career, having had families, and they're wanting to do something a little bit more for themselves. So you've got ample opportunity in order to do that.
Thank you, Rachel. And the kind of person that you see being successful in the RAF, what sort of skill sets or experience or just their personalities, what makes the best people to work for your organisation, do you think?
Okay, so we're after people that are fairly outgoing, are willing to get themselves out there, do the work itself, good communication skills. You don't have to be a leader. We have to have followers as well as leaders. So anyone that's just willing to get stuck in, you don't have to be actually qualified in order to join the RAF. So we can take you from having no qualifications at all, and we can put you all the way through your educational qualifications to the role that you want to do, all the way up to degree level, maybe even masters if that's how you wanted to go. So don't think just because you haven't got the qualifications initially that you can't join the RAF. There are lots of different routes in. For example, a lot of the logistics roles and force protection roles, you don't need any GCSEs whatsoever. But you could then end up getting a level 3 out of the RAF and, as I say, getting that degree.
I think on the last time we met you at one of these events, I do remember there was a chap who wanted to be a solicitor in Crewe, and he was looking around the Crewe area. He was asking for solicitors to get in touch with him, and I know you jumped on that chat and said, "Hey, we need legal counsel within the RAF. Would you be interested in working for us?" And that's just one brilliant example of a role that you just wouldn't necessarily think of being needed by the RAF. But that's a really good example of it's just worth looking on your website, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've got 55 different roles in 8 different specialisations. So, you could be an operating department practitioner, you could be a physiotherapist, you could be environmental scientist. We have all of these roles, and they're just part of the medical bits and pieces. But yeah, we have police, we have firefighters. So people that are struggling to get into the civilian roles, come and give us a go, because you'll do exactly the same training in the RAF as you would do in the civilian world. And it just means that you get your qualifications, and then you're going to be highly sought after when you come to leave.
Brilliant. The benefits then, I mean, we've already talked about somewhere you get to travel. Clearly, for some people that is a benefit, but why else should people work for the RAF, Rachel?
For me, it's all about the team spirit. It's like having a second family. So you've got your own family, but then everyone that you work with, you become really interlinked and you all look out for each other. You get good pay compared to what you can in the civilian world. So if you started off on a modern day apprenticeship, obviously if you're an older person, it's probably you're going to have to take a little bit of a pay cut. But if you add on the benefits on top of that, then it becomes much more alongside what you would in your civilian counterpart. But if you're a 16-year-old earning £20,000 within 6 months, or if you come in at one of the sergeant roles or the officer roles, you're looking at earning £32,000 within that 6 months. But your pay increases by £1,000 every year until you reach the top of the threshold for that rank. But if you look at free medical, free dental, free gym, you get, if you go away on operational tours, you get additional local overseas pay, which starts off at £5, but depending on how many days you've done away cumulatively in your career, it could go all the way up to £20. If you're a linguist, you'll get language pay, flying pay. There's lots and lots of different things monetary wise, but also you get your pension paid for by the government. So you're saving 10% of your wages as well. Food's about £5 a day, and your accommodation for a 2-bedroom house, for example, is about £200. And if you live in the single accommodation, you're looking at anywhere between £75 a month to about £120 a month. So we really look after our people.
Yeah, and lots of information there about how you can get in and the allowances and everything else. So thanks for all of that. I think if anybody needs any further information, I would strongly recommend you use the live chat right now to get in touch with the team at the RAF, who can put some more detail against that if you're now thinking that might be a route you want to take. Rachel, we've been asking people over the last couple of days who see a lot of people applying into their organisation and lots of CVs. For you personally, what makes a good application, and what would give that person a chance to be interviewed by the RAF?
Okay, for me, it's the eligibility check. So you need to make sure that you've got the right academics in order to come in. You then will have to sit either the airman or the airwoman selection test, or if you're going for one of the officer or sergeant roles that have computer-based aptitude tests, you have to pass those. Providing you've got the aptitude, the RAF will always give you an interview. So the first bit is actually passing that test, and we do have trials on the RAF website that you can practice on, making sure that you get your mindset going into the right kind of space, because it's quite tricky, especially if you've not done it for a while. It's time critical, and you've got different areas to go through, such as workload, mathematical reasoning, verbal reasoning, electrical, mechanical. And we put different kind of aspects on different roles within the RAF. So you'll always get an interview providing you've passed that eligibility test.
Yeah, perfect. Well, look, this has been really helpful, and thanks so much for your time here on the Northwest Works for You event on Jobs Live. And it's always a pleasure to meet you, Rachel, and I know you'll be back again, I'm sure, telling us about the great roles that are available. But just a massive thank you as well to your team for helping people today, because I know it's not just been about them applying into you. You're just generally trying to help them as well, aren't you, get back into employment for those who are finding it quite challenging at the moment.
Absolutely. I know it's been a very tricky time for everyone, and anything we can do to help out with that, then that's what we want to do, really.
Yeah.
And good luck to everyone.
Yeah.
I hope you get something out the next few days.
Yeah, and are you looking? I have to ask, are you looking forward to Top Gun 2?
I am. I can't wait.
Well, look, please let us know, because I'm on the fence about that one. So please let us know when you've seen it, if it's worth a watch.
Okay, will do. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Rachel. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Ringway Jacobs is a company that delivers highway infrastructure schemes and manage highways on behalf of local authorities across the country, and that includes Cheshire East, which is a contract in which I work.
Perfect, that's lovely. So whereabouts are you guys based?
In the Cheshire East contract, we've got 3 offices. The offices are in Crewe, in Delamere House in Crewe, Congleton, which is where I'm based mainly. We have a depot there, and also one at Wardle, which is just north of Nantwich.
Perfect, that's lovely. So what kind of roles are you recruiting for at the moment?
We're always looking for recruits from all levels of our business, going from people who like to work on the road, we go from apprentices all the way up to experienced highway engineers on the ground, who are actually ground workers, through to administrative support, as well as up to chartered engineers. So we've always got a lot of vacancies, and we're looking to recruit on a regular basis.
Perfect, that sounds brilliant. So what kind of person are you looking for to join your organisation?
We're looking for all types of individuals to work for us. It doesn't matter what type of experience you've got. We're here and willing to help and train and bring people into the business. From operational staff on the roads, they can be inexperienced, they can be experienced ground workers. If they, we're just very keen. We want people who are keen and interested to work in this industry. Once you go away from that into the office environment, we are looking for professional people. We can go from apprenticeship juniors all the way through to chartered engineers. We have a multitude of vacancies that obviously will vary during the time of year.
Perfect, that sounds brilliant. So why would someone want to come and work for Ringway Jacobs?
Ringway Jacobs is a really progressive and really enjoyable company to work for. The majority of people have been here a long time, and you can see our retention of staff is great because it is a really good and enjoyable place to work. We work here hard, but that's really quite an advantage in a lot of places. What we're doing is providing security, and we're also providing longevity of work.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So have you got any hints or tips for those who might be applying today?
What I'd like people to be open. Be open to really a change in career path, a change in a thought in what you want to do. We're looking for people who are keen to work. If they're happy to work outside and want to work outside, we've got some great opportunities where you can be coming and learn a skill. We want people who are willing and open to learn those skills and help develop and grow with our business. We've got a long-term contract here and we give some great opportunities to develop and grow some really good staff. In the offices, again, we'll be happy with people who want to gain experience and work their way through the processes. But at the same time, we'd like to attract people who have got qualifications and skills and charterships as necessary. So we're very open to what sort of people. The hints and tips are: come in, be yourself, and be prepared and be open and accepting to a really good and enjoyable company.
Perfect, that's lovely. Well, thank you so much, Ian, for that piece of information and also for all of that advice there. And thank you for your time, really, on the Jobs Live channel and for being with us. Unfortunately, though, I'm now going to have to pass back over to Stuart in the studio, but hopefully we'll see you again very soon on the Jobs Live channel.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Jobs Live channel. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. I hope you all are too.
Yeah, very well, thank you. Delighted for you to be able to join us. I know, like a lot of companies during this last 12 months, it's been a challenging time, but your sort of recruitment has carried on, hasn't it? You've still been trying to get people into Network Rail. That thankfully hasn't really changed too much.
No, not too much. And the roles we've recruited for have been really diverse throughout the pandemic. Network Rail has been really supportive of us. So whilst most of us are all working remotely, we've managed to create an onboarding induction process for everybody now to try and welcome them into the business, as I know that it's daunting starting a new job at any time, yet alone during a pandemic when we've still not met most of our teams in person yet.
No, that's the challenging bit, and we'll come on to that shortly. But for those who may not know, Network Rail, I know I've met a few people over the years who think you look after the trains. Well, that's not quite the case, is it? You have to look after the infrastructure that the trains go on. So just tell us a little bit more about the company Network Rail and what it actually does.
Yeah, so Network Rail, we're a arm's length government organisation, and like you said, we look after the infrastructure. So that covers 20,000 miles of track, over 25,000 miles of overhead line that runs across the track. We also look after 30,000 bridges, structures and level crossings across the country. We're also the organisation that develops the timetables, and we have a lot of community outreach programmes to try and increase safety on the railway. So whilst we don't run the trains, we do work really closely with the train operating companies that do drive the trains as well. So we try and work as one industry as a whole.
Yeah, and I know you were on the live chat yesterday, and thank you so much for your support there. And you were seeing lots of questions coming in. I just want to remind people that, you know, we've got Robin here now live, linked to our studio at Jobs Live, and you know, Robin will come back to you with any answers to your questions. Obviously, we'll try and feed a few through to Robin whilst we're live, but if not, Robin will definitely go on later. But this is your chance really to find out about Network Rail and about the fantastic opportunities that exist within that industry. And I think for some people, again, we had that perception yesterday about construction. They think if you join the construction industry, you're going to be working on a building site. Well, to be honest, there's so much more. And for Network Rail, it isn't about, for example, for some people think driving the trains, which is not what you do. So just give us a flavour, if I may, of what kind of roles we could expect if we went on the Network Rail careers page right now, Robin.
So there are over 500 different job titles at Network Rail, so there is no one size fits all in jobs. So obviously we do recruit a lot of engineers. At the moment we are recruiting for structures engineers who look after our buildings. We're looking for electrical engineers, mechanical engineers. We're looking for apprentices. Now our apprentices vary from engineering through to health and safety, finance, HR. They're really varied. We recruit a huge number of contract specialists on Network Rail that help manage our contracts with the train operating companies. We're recruiting for customer service people that work in building those relationships with those other companies, or managing our stations to look after our customers. We've got huge finance teams that look after our multi-billion-pound budgets each year. And that's a real big focus for us, as a lot of the infrastructure upgrade programs are costing billions. So we need to make sure that we're managing taxpayers' money appropriately. We've got huge HR functions that look after our workforce. So at the moment, we are currently 44,137 employees strong. So our HR teams are there to support line managers, to support people with training and development. We have then got people that work in our front line on risk and reporting. Obviously, as we all know, a lot of things are going digital now, and for one way is that we look after technology to help improve the services that we have. So you'd be shocked, kind of, if a job exists, we've probably got at least one person in the organisation of that job type.
Perfect. And if you do land on that page, on the careers page at Network Rail, and you're not too sure of the title, then please do ask the team, because the title doesn't necessarily tell you all about the role. And, you know, people like Robin are there to help you and guide you in making you understand more about those roles. So thank you, Robin, for taking part in this, because I think there is, you know, when you say the word engineer, again, it's that perception, but there's so many different engineering roles within Network Rail that people can look at today. Can I just ask about qualifications then? I mean, the people who apply into you, do they need to have had experience of working in the rail industry, or you're finding applications coming in from all sectors now?
We have applications from all sectors, and we really encourage diversity at Network Rail. We like to hire people from different backgrounds, as that helps us innovate and become more efficient, and obviously improve the service for our passengers. So you don't need to have had experience on the railway. I joined Network Rail nearly 3 years ago now, and I'd come from an infrastructure construction background, so I hadn't worked in railway before, but you soon adapt. So actually, one of the roles that I would really strongly suggest people apply for if they would like to get into engineering but don't have engineering experience is an operative. So whilst I wouldn't have known what that meant before I joined Network Rail, that's an entry-level engineering role where we'll provide you with all the training and development that you need to progress into various different engineering backgrounds. So that could be something worth paying attention to.
Perfect. And is that operative role available? I mean, is there any vacancies at that level right now that people can have a look at, Robin?
There are, so not just in the Northwest region. I think we've got 27 in the Northwest at the moment, but they could be all over the country because we do have depots and office locations across the entirety of the UK.
Perfect. Now, one of the things that was coming up a lot yesterday when we were speaking to organisations was the kind of people that you're looking for. So, you know, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of CVs and met people at interview level, and, you know, they've been successful. What do you think is that ingredient? What makes someone successful at Network Rail?
That's a really hard question, because everybody at Network Rail and all of my colleagues, we're all so different. So I won't lie, it's really difficult because we don't have one type of person. So some of us have gone to university, others haven't. Some joined as an apprenticeship and never left. We've had people join from professional services, ex-military. We've had a lot of people that used to be in the aviation sector join us recently. So what would make someone successful is really their attitudes and their behaviours. We are a safety critical business. Everybody knows that the railway can be a dangerous place. So we look for people that have kind of that safety conscious attitude at the front of their mind. We really value teamwork and empowering our people and treating them with respect. So if people have those attributes, they're someone that we really look forward to joining us as well.
Brilliant. I know it was a tough question because you've got so many people working there, but there is those sort of soft skills that you're looking for, isn't there? And punctuality, attitude, passion as well goes a long way, doesn't it, interview stage?
Yeah, definitely. And I think something that would really make someone stand out at interview is that you have done your research on the organisation. And you don't need to know the ins and outs of every aspect of our business, but have a little look on our careers page, look at the Who We Are section, look at the safety section if you haven't been in the railway industry before, and really get to grips with that. Have a little look for some kind of news articles and things that have kind of will definitely be available about the industry. Kind of show your interest, and that will really help you stand you apart. Perfect. And obviously you can put the link to the career page, please, on the live chat later for people to find you and have a look at those current vacancies. And is there a way of maybe expressing an interest in working for you if there isn't anything suitable right now? There is. So on our careers page, when you're having a look on the opening page of that, you'll have an option to subscribe for notifications about certain role types. And that's something that I did prior to joining Network Rail. So I'd always heard good things, but there were no roles available in what I wanted to do. So before I joined Network Rail, I set up a notification, and you'll get an update. I think it's every 2 weeks about roles that do come available. So that's one thing that I would really strongly suggest. Have a little look at us on LinkedIn. We do post a lot of our vacancies there. So have a little look on that. And we also give you kind of a preview about what will be coming up over the coming months as well on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Can I just ask as well, why would someone want to work for Network Rail? I mean, what's the benefits of working for your organisation, Robin?
I suppose not only is the money worthwhile, we're incredibly flexible. So in lockdown, I became a carer for my terminal granddad. Now he's 84 and has some quite difficult health issues. Since then, Network Rail have been incredibly supportive. They allow me to work around my personal commitments, so I start early and finish early. They've provided me with all the training and development I'd need to progress. We've got a huge training budget which is ring-fenced for our employees, so if we see a development area of our own that we want to work on, Network Rail actively encourage you to pursue that and will pay you and develop you through that. We've obviously got the typical employee benefits platforms. We get really favourable season ticket loans and discounts. What's really one of the best things about Network Rail is the people. Like I mentioned, one of our values is caring and empowering for our people, and it's that community feel that really makes a difference. And I think that's why people don't often leave the rail industry. Once they join, they stay in the industry. And that potentially could be because just because you join Network Rail in a certain team or division, that doesn't mean that's where you'll be forever. Because there's so many secondment and cross-team opportunities, you really develop and can move your career in many different ways. So they're just a few of the reasons I joined Network Rail.
Yeah, and you've got a really good relationship with your stakeholders, haven't you? The actual railway industry itself, and there's opportunities there to work on projects together and collaborate. So it's not just Network Rail that's involved there. You've got lots of organisations, supply chain, etc., etc., and you need to be focused on that too, I guess, when you work for Network Rail.
Yeah, and that's kind of a really exciting part of the industry. So we're working on some of the largest upgrade schemes that engineering has ever seen, particularly across Europe. We work really closely with companies like Balfour Beatty and Arup, who I know have joined you kind of at Northwest, and we've got incredible relationships. We work closely with the train operating companies like Avanti and West Midlands Rail. We work with High Speed 2 and Crossrail. So you've got so many opportunities to get involved in these projects that really make a difference to communities and will shape Britain for the future.
Thanks so much, Robin. I mean, I'm sensing how big this organisation is and the opportunities you have just in the Northwest alone. So thank you for sharing that. And just finally, we won't keep any longer, but it's been really, really helpful. I think you've already mentioned about research, about how important it is to do that before you apply. But do you have any other additional hints and tips? Maybe when people get to interview stage, and hopefully they do, what sort of impresses you when you're interviewing a candidate, and to make them more successful at that level? What would you suggest?
Because most interviews are competency based, where we're having a look at your previous experience to see about kind of your future suitability for a role, really use the STAR technique in your answers. So the STAR technique, for any of you that don't know, is the situation, task, action and result. And this just helps provide a really succinct insight into what you've done. And it helps us understand kind of your contribution to a problem or an action and the result. So really try and think of some examples before you go into interview, kind of have some prompt cards and think about some scenarios and some actions that you've taken and where they could apply, because that will really help stand you apart.
That's brilliant, Robin. I don't know if I've actually heard of that STAR technique. Is that something which people can Google and look up and do some research on?
Yes, so just type in your Google or whichever search engine you'd like and type in STAR interview technique, and there'll be lots of documents and guidance on there for you. The best one, I think, is on indeed.co.uk.
Perfect. Well, we'll pass that on, and if you could just remind people, if you do have a link to that information, we could post that on your live chat as well. And just to remind you, if you do want to have a conversation with Robin and the team, you can jump onto their partner page and get involved with a private conversation with the team as well, where you can share contact details and hopefully apply into one of those roles today. I know yesterday you were quite impressed, weren't you, Robin, with the amount of questions you were getting and the people who were showing a genuine interest in working for you?
Yeah, we were. We really welcome any questions whatsoever, as you need to make sure that your next career is right for you. And the only way you can do that is by having these conversations. So please get in touch.
Well, it's brilliant to have met you this morning, Robin. Thanks so much for your time. I know you're going to stick around, I hope, for the rest of this day at this event, answering any questions. I think you're probably going to have quite a few to go back to when you go back to your laptop. And also, it'd be great to have you back on the Jobs Live channel in the future as well, to keep us updated on any future what sounds like an ever-growing number of vacancies at Network Rail as those multi-million, billion-pound projects land across the UK.
No, gladly.
Thanks so much, Robin. As I say, Robin will be on the live chat later, so here's your chance now to get some questions through to Robin over the next couple of hours. And again, Robin will, I think, be there again tomorrow as well to take you through any of those questions and help you and guide you back to the website. So Robin will do that. So thank you so much, Robin, for your time this morning here on the Jobs Live channel.
Thanks, Stuart. So today I have been joined by Rosa, who works at My Dentist. So Rosa, could you tell us a little bit about what you do there and what the company does?
Yes, so my name's Rosa and I work at My Dentist. My role is to look after all of our advertising campaigns as well as everything to do with careers talent. And My Dentist were a collection of over 600 dental practices nationwide. We treat over 4 million private and NHS patients, and we're a strong team of dentists, dental nurses, managers, and head office staff.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So whereabouts are you guys based?
So our practices are nationwide, so all from Scotland through England, Wales and Northern Ireland, and our head office is based in Kersley, Greater Manchester.
Brilliant, so nice and local. So what roles are you recruiting for at the moment?
So we do recruit quite a lot of experienced and student dental nurses. As a student dental nurse, you don't really need any previous experience within dental nursing, but instead we look for people that have got a passion to get into that field, the right attitude and commitment to complete the course, which is paid for by My Dentist, and then you will be a fully qualified dental nurse at the end of that on the GDC register. We also recruit practice managers nationwide, so in that role you'd be responsible for running your practice, managing staff and driving performance. We welcome people with managerial experience from all backgrounds, and many of our practice managers come from retail, hospitality and leisure backgrounds, as well as people with previous experience in dental care.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So within those roles, what kind of people are you looking for to join your organisation?
I think people that are really committed to working together in order to always put our patients first. We're a large organisation, but every practice feels like a tight-knit family to ensure that everything is running smoothly for our patients. So it's important that whatever role you join us in, you're committed to your role and understand the direct impact that has on patients every day.
Perfect, 100%. So why would someone want to come and work for you guys?
We're a very secure, growing organisation. We understand that many industries at the moment face quite uncertain futures, whereas we're really going from strength to strength. All throughout the pandemic, we've kept our staff safe, we've kept them up to date and we've kept them working. We've not had to reduce staff numbers or anything like that. And working for us is just a chance to work in a completely different industry that you may never have considered before or been exposed to. We're somewhere where no matter what role you join, you'll get full training for the industry and ongoing development and opportunities in whatever role that you join us in.
Perfect, that sounds amazing. So have you got any hints or tips for anyone out there that might want to apply?
I think always to display a passion to get into the industry. Obviously do your research, especially if you're considering one of our student dental nurse positions. It's a tough role where you're on your feet all day and there's a lot of studying. It's the equivalent to like an A level in biology, which is really tough. As an organisation, we live by our strengths, which are patients first, community matters, a place to grow, altogether better, and restlessly ambitious. So I would encourage anybody that's thinking of applying to go onto our homepage on our careers website, view the videos that are associated with our strengths, and think about sort of how you could bring that to life in the role that you're applying for.
Amazing. That sounds brilliant. So thank you so much for that advice and also for your time today. And hopefully we get to see you again on the Jobs Live channel very, very soon. But for now, it's a goodbye from me to you, Rosa, and back to Stu in the studio. Thanks, Stuart. So today I have been joined by Sandra McCann, who works at Warrington and Halton Hospitals NHS. So hi, Sandra. Could you tell us a little bit about what your organisation does and where you guys are based?
Hi, Jen. Yes, of course. Thank you. So Warrington and Halton Hospitals are based over 3 sites. We have our main site, which is Warrington Hospital. This focuses on emergency and specialist care with all the backup services to treat patients with lots of different medical and surgical conditions. We have a full range of expert inpatient and outpatient services at Warrington. Then there's the Nightingale building, formerly known as Halton Hospital in Runcorn. This is home to our urgent care centre, and it's also used for non-complex surgery, which doesn't need a long hospital stay. Our third site is the Captain Sir Tom Moore building, which is also in Runcorn on the Halton site. And this is a standalone operating and clinical facility for orthopaedics, so joint surgery.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. So could you tell us a little bit more about the roles that you're recruiting for at the moment?
Absolutely. So we have a range of roles at the moment. All our vacancies are on NHS Jobs, so that's a good place to start. The roles at the moment range from project manager to nurses to a fitter in our estates team, film and graphic artist for our communications team. But currently, we're recruiting to our EFL traineeship programme, which is a 12-week programme focused on our healthcare assistant services. The programme supports young people aged 16 to 24 in learning new skills and getting some great work experience, actually working on our wards in a placement for a healthcare assistant. It's a great opportunity, and if you want to find out details, you need to contact my colleague, Harry Rutter. I'll give you his email address at the end.
Perfect, that's lovely. Thank you for that. So could you tell us a little bit more about what kind of people that you're looking for to join your organisation?
Yes, we need people who are committed primarily to providing excellent patient care. So that's caring, friendly, respectful people who are good at listening, good at observing, but also dedicated and great working on their own initiative or within a team. You need to the ability to stay positive and to enjoy, the challenge of looking after people or supporting. You'll be in a support role, either looking after patients or looking after our fantastic team at Warrington Halton.
Perfect, that sounds lovely. So why would someone want to come and apply and work for you guys?
Well, Warrington and Halton are a talented, passionate team of people committed to providing the best care and treatment to patients. So, in a nutshell, you need to join our team, Team WHH, for job satisfaction, variety, because no 2 days are ever the same when you're working with us, work with like-minded people who want to provide the best care and services for our patients and our staff. Annual leave and benefits